Time is running out, but it's alright. Patterns form like magic tricks. Fingers dance with quick, sharp flicks.
Eyes are locked on cardboard hues. Every move's a racing muse. Corners meet with frantic cheer. Victory's scent is drawing near. Victory's puzzle mania late at night. Feeling high on this delight. Counting seconds ticking down. Champion in this jigsaw town. Brains on fire, tension snaps. Hands aligned at final class. Cheers are up, the crowd's amazed. Brains on fire, in the glow of winning race. Hands aligned, piece by piece we conquer all. Cheers are up, speed puzzlers in the hall. Eyes on target, hearts ablaze. In this rush, we find our craze. Puzzle mania late at night. Feeling high on this delight. Counting seconds ticking down. Champion in this jigsaw town.
Pieces flying left and right. Time is running out, but it's alright. Patterns form like magic tricks. Fingers dance with quick, sharp flicks.
Eyes are locked on cardboard hues. Every move's a racing muse. Corners meet with frantic cheer. Victory's scent is drawing near. Puzzle mania late at night. Feeling high on this delight. Counting seconds ticking down. Champion in this jigsaw town. Brains on fire, tension snaps. Hands aligned at final class. Cheers are up, the crowd's amazed. In the glow of winning race. Piece by piece we conquer all. Speed puzzlers in the hall. Eyes on target, hearts ablaze. In this rush, we find our craze. Puzzle mania late at night. Feeling high on this delight. Counting seconds ticking down. Champion in this jigsaw town. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Pieces flying left and right. Time is running out, but it's alright. Patterns form like magic tricks. Fingers dance with quick, sharp flicks.
Eyes are locked on cardboard hues. Every move's a race in muse. Corners meet with frantic cheer. Victory's scent is drawing near. Puzzle mania late at night. Feeling high on this steel light. Counting seconds ticking down. Champion in this jigsaw town. Brains on fire, tension snaps. Hands aligned at final clasp. Cheers are up, the crowd's amazed. In the glow of winning race. Piece by piece we conquer all. Speed puzzlers in the hall. Eyes on target, hearts ablaze. In this rush we find our craze. Puzzle mania late at night. Feeling high on this delight.
So, good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's competition. And greetings to my co-host. I can already hear James giggling away there. And I have a special guest. James, where are you? What are you called today? I can't find you. Oh, you're the Global Portrait Project.
I must get that changed at some point. That's always on brand. Always on brand.
Yes. Oh, wait, lovely chicken hat here. So, good morning, James. How are you?
I'm really well. Hi, Michelle. It's James from UKJPA. Good to see everybody.
Yes, welcome to all our participants. We have about 90 competitors today doing a 1,000 piece puzzle. And greetings, we already have some folks in the chat joining us from America and the UK. And I have a special guest who's actually co-hosting from my house.
Hey, everybody.
And
Has Mari thrown him out?
yeah, well, Mari's actually downstairs and she's going to be puzzling the 1,000 pieces. So we have a full house today.
It's pretty exciting.
So he's actually going to be at my computer next to me. So let's see Jim disappear from one.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh. I will say it was. I will say it was a really long distance to travel here.
Yeah, so we have a bit of an echo, so actually we'll have to just work off one microphone at the moment. And yeah, we have a fun what do you call it, a theme for today, which is fun facts about puzzles or puzzlers or anything in the world or your country, just some fun facts. So there's going to be some trivia. I wanted to start by asking you, James, yeah, do you have any fun facts that you'd like to share?
Mine are all animal related. I like the polar bears have black skin and are left-handed sort of stuff. And
Polar bears are left-handed.
I think most polar bears apparently are left-handed. And kiwis have the shortest beaks in the world, apparently. Did you know that one?
I didn't know that, but I know that kiwis have the largest egg size in comparison, in the proportion to their body size.
Their nostrils are at the end of their beak, apparently.
Yeah.
That's
That's pretty cool.
I like that sort of stuff.
That's pretty cool. I'm just going to ask the question to Jim, but I'm going to turn my mic off so that we don't get an echo between us. Go ahead, Jim.
As far as fun facts go, I always like the one where if somebody is jogging and they have a ponytail, you can figure out if they are in certain oscillation frequencies with their running based on if their ponytail is swinging like a pendulum or if it starts going like a helicopter. Because the resonance of their running will line up with that, and that research actually led to a whole bunch of cool ways to model hair that affected Disney, Pixar, all sorts of animation like shampoo stuff, just different ways of modeling the hair as a bunch of tiny springs rather than one long strand. So yeah, I like silly things like that. That won an Ig Nobel Prize several years ago. For those of you who haven't heard, those are the science prizes for things that make you laugh and then think. And I get a kick out of those.
I just would need to ask, can everybody else hear an echo? Because I can hear an echo to Jim.
It's all gone very quiet now, Michelle. I can't hear either of you. I can't hear you.
How about now? Is there an echo now?
James,
I can't hear an echo.
James, did you hear an echo when James was talking?
No, not when Jim was talking, but I could when you were just talking then.
Okay, that's because his mic is on.
Yeah, I didn't mute fast enough. That's on me.
Okay. I think we have to figure this out.
It's fun all the time.
Is Jim's ponytail?
Okay, but it's only through me and my headphones. When Jim is talking, I hear it through here, but it's slightly delayed.
Oh, ignore it. It'll be all right.
Okay, I think anyway, I'm going to stop talking very soon, and then he's going to take it over. I could probably even take my headphones off, possibly. We'll see how we go. Maybe I'm the only one who's going to have talking in my head. Okay, let's see if we are ready to go. So just a fun fact about my country, where I come from in New Zealand. At the time that I lived there, we had 6 sheep for every human in New Zealand. That has now been changed to 5 sheep for every human, but that's still a cool fact, and you will see them everywhere. And later this afternoon, I'm going to be showing Mari and Jim around Trier, and Trier was the most important city in the Roman Empire north of the Alps. So we have a lot of Roman architecture, which we will be discovering on foot today. Okay, we are now at 10 o'clock, so let's see what we're working with today. Everybody go ahead and unwrap your puzzle. Okay, so we are doing a 1,000 piece puzzle today. Check that the lid comes off easily. Now, there is a sticker on the box on the lower left usually that covers some of the image. If you want to, you could peel that off. I know some people have done, and I saw somebody doing it. And then when I tried to do it, it did start to kind of peel the box, so I just left it on. But there is part of the image is obscured by that little sticker in the corner. So see how you go with that. There is not a poster as far as I believe. No, there isn't. Okay, so I'm actually going to, once we do the countdown, I'm actually going to hand the puzzle over to Jim. And no, he's got a blurry background. Actually, I'll introduce the puzzle and then I'm going to hand it over to him, so he can have a live copy in front of him. And yes, we are ready to go. We've got 81. Why only 81 people? There should be 90 people. So if you have not registered on the timer website, take a moment to do that now. There should be 90 people. Only one person told me that they were not puzzling. You will be using that blue button. So at the moment we have the time limit of 3.5 hours. That will then start counting up from 0. and you will then click on the blue done button to finish, and you will also yeah, and in case that doesn't work, then you can write done in the chat. I also wanted to ask Bjorg, would you please stay for an interview? I'm not sure if you've read my message in the chat, and we'll see how we go. Okay, yeah, so one more person registered.
Yes.
Yes, okay, thanks, Bjorg. Good. Okay, 3.5 hours. We will do the countdown starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck, everybody.
Alrighty. Well, today's puzzle is this lovely happily image. Oh,
I forgot I'm supposed to do the thing.
yeah, I think, yeah, Michelle, I think you want to show this off a little bit. It's a 1,000-piece puzzle, folks. So we're going to be here for a hot minute, no matter what happens. But folks are already getting off on the flip right away.
And what's the name of the puzzle? Oh, we can't hear Michelle. Michelle's mic's off.
So I already forgot what I was going to say, which I just said that I would actually introduce the puzzle. So we have Foodies. It's by the brand Happily, so you might recognize the box. These are typically known to be fairly fast. So if you are trying to get into doing 1,000-piece puzzles speedily, they are a great place to start. And we have, yeah, some fun fruits and veg, eggs, spaghetti, etc., salt and pepper with googly eyes on them. And that makes for quite a fun image to puzzle. We also have different colored backgrounds, and we have a nice white border in between each of those sections. So this is Foodies, and I actually got my personal best 1,000-piece time on this one. So really excited to see how people get on with this. And now I'm going to turn my camera and my mic off and hand this over to Jim that he gets a closer look. Sorry, we're a bit all over the place today. I'm not used to having somebody commentating live next to me.
I do tend to have that effect on people. You know, I sit next to them and it fluster all over the place. There are some fun facts coming in through the chat. SJ wants to let everybody know that, fun fact, the artist of this puzzle is Charlotte Love. And this is a lovely puzzle in that there are a lot of individual chunks that are floating around in here. You can see that we are about double checking the time here. We're coming up on about 2 minutes into this particular competition. For a 1,000-piece puzzle, it's going to take a lot of our competitors closer to about 6.5 minutes to complete the flip if they're also doing pulling. So be expected to see that be a little further behind than usual for those 500s. But these individuals are going to be flying once they get that worked out.
So this looks a fast image, doesn't it? It's got that nice sort of structure that a lot of speed puzzlers like, where you've got blocks of saturated color in specific blocks, so you can pull and do each individual bit. So you can do it like, what would it be, about 20 small puzzles rather than one big 1,000-piece puzzle. I suppose another question we could tackle today is, what's the strangest place you've seen googly eyes?
Well, oddly enough, Mari and I do have a small package of emergency googly eyes that we have used to great effect in different ways. On screen now, we can see in the upper left, Robert Atkinson, in the upper middle, Romina, in the upper right, Rosaline, in the lower left, Ruth, in the lower middle, Sana, and in the lower right, Sharka. Everybody's doing that flip. You can see a little bit of sorting going on here. I think Sana's pulling a lot of those reds. I think that's going to be a good call because that's a unique color in the background, and there's only 2 spots that it really shows up for that flatter red.
Yeah, that was the immediate standout thing that I saw on immediately seeing the puzzle, was that nice little area of red, get you warmed up. Some of the colors look repeated. I think the broccoli and the fancy mushroom looks roughly the same color, and then the pea and the jelly look pretty well the same color background. Difficult to see without seeing it in person, but certainly there's lots of distinct colors. Again, that purple with the orange fruit looks like a nice distinct section that people will be able to pull.
Yeah, I think this is really going to come down to what do people gravitate towards the most. We do know on these happily puzzles, there's a sticker usually on the front that might cover up one of the cells in a way. Like the one I'm looking at, there's a green apple in one of the corners that might overlap with some of the peas. But this is going to be really modular. Checking times on my speed puzzling. Currently, the fastest time is from Cleo at 1:25:20, and that was a year ago. And we know that the entire field has improved so much since then. So I'm thinking that we might be able to see some times that are closer to like 1:15 or so.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we go faster on that. There's not a lot of data on speed puzzling 1,000-piece puzzles, so we haven't got anywhere near like such a clear idea about what our field's going to achieve today. But one of the things we know is that the oldest running competition in the UK, the Newmarket Open, has been doing 1,000-piece puzzle solo competitions for some time, and the puzzlers there on a fast puzzle have been doing about 1 hour 20. So this looks a properly fast puzzle. So I think you're about right. I think we may see one or two fast puzzlers hitting below the 120 mark.
I'm just going to interrupt just for a moment, and I'm going to, we have Rosaline on screen. I wanted to do a little shout out. We have a team photo from her. Now, what happened is that we had recently a competition where the theme was friendships, and she started to write her text for friendships and got really into it. And because English is not her first language, it took a bit longer to write it and to make sure that it was correct, that by the time she'd finished writing her text, she was 15 minutes late to the competition. And it just shows a little bit about how much the friendships mean to her. And so I just wanted to read her text quickly while she's on screen. Hi, I'm Rosaline from Belgium. I'm an introvert, and to be honest, meeting new people was never easy for me because of my own insecurities. She's the one on the right. Since I started speed puzzling almost 2 years ago, I've met so many kind, positive, playful, engaged, and creative people. They enrich not only the speed puzzling community, but also my own life, each in their own way. That's something wonderful that I'm very grateful for. I would also like to thank my teammates Bram, Imka, and Aline, who gave it their all and with whom I achieved 3rd place at the Belgian Championship last weekend. And to Aline Verhelst, my dear pairs partner, who is so great at motivating and has the gift of bringing out the fastest version of yourself while puzzling. So we just wanted to share that. It was such a beautiful text, and unfortunately, because she finished it while everybody had already started, we didn't actually see it and didn't mention it during the competition where the topic was friendship. And yeah, so just wanted to make sure we squeeze it in today, and I will jump away again and hand it back to Jim and James.
That was rather lovely. That's a great example of expresses very well about what a lovely. I mean, yeah, I've heard people talk about finding your tribe, and I think that to me feels like what a wonderful community the puzzling community is, and for a lot of people it is our tribe. So yeah, great to have everybody here.
It's really wonderful, and that's the kind of thing that goes beyond just a simple fun fact, just how great the entire puzzle community is. You can see that we're crossing the 7-minute and 50-second line here up on screen now. In the upper left, we have Sol. In the upper middle, Sophie. In the upper right, Stephanie. In the lower left, Svetlana. In the lower middle, Sonia. And in the lower right, Tyler. Everybody is, if not done, very, very close to being done with their flip. We can see Svetlana is doing a really big sort using multiple puzzle trays there. Which is a cool tactic, and I think Tyler's going for a full border build early on here.
Because I don't have the puzzle in front of me, I'm just trying to get a bit of a clearer view of what the border looks like. Presumably, it's a white edge, but there's still some the box colors for the modules you can see on each piece of edge. So an edge build should be reasonably doable, do we think?
It might be a little tricky. Part of it's going to depend on how far those prongs stick out from the end into the actual cells. Because if you get it just on the ends of the prongs, but the assembly is along the sides, you may not be able to get overlap there to really catch how to make those connections happen. So it might be a little tricky, but it looks like Tyler's doing a really good job there throughout. I'm not as familiar with Happily as some other folks are, and I know that there's a couple of versions of Happily where that those cells are right up against the edge, and it's great to work through. And sometimes it's a little bit further away, and it's a little tricky. But yeah, you can see that he's working through the cell by cell. He has the I think that's the yellow corner that he was working on there for just a moment in that zoom in.
Mm. I do love Happily puzzles. I think they're really nice quality. They're usually lovely, strong colours. I think they're a pleasure to build. I like the general style that they've gone down with their images. They also do some very nice little small puzzles, like 100-piece puzzles. They're probably a little bit small for our chicken format, but because the pieces are quite tiny. But again, they're really well cut. Even their small pieces are very well cut. I think it's a terrific brand. I do like them. I think they've been a really good addition to the marketplace. I'm just having a look on some sorting trays, and I'm just trying to see in some close-ups what we can see for the edge pieces. It looks like the colours for the blocks pretty well intersect about halfway up the piece. So I don't think they're just out on the prongs. I think you get a good chunk of colour of the modules in your edge piece. So I'm expecting that quite a lot of people will be looking to get their edges in reasonably early.
Oh yeah. Up on screen now in the upper left, you can see Vanya. In the upper right, I think that's Vebka. In the lower left is Zach, followed by Aaron. Lower right, Eileen, and then Alina in the lower right. Aaron just coming off of the UK Nationals last weekend is cruising through this puzzle. You can see he's working through that broccoli, that singular cyclops eye staring up at us. Flying through there. Hey, James, you know, it might be time for a fun fact. Do you know how many edge pieces are typically in a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle?
Okay, I'm going to have a guess. Let's see. Is it about 170?
Oh, you know that's the right ballpark. We were looking for 126.
Oh, right. Okay.
You know, and part of that depends on the conformation. If it's a little more landscapey, if it's a little more panoramic, you know, the dimensions affect that a little bit. But somewhere around 126 to 145, 150 is usually what we're looking for there.
Interesting that Aaron has started on the broccoli. That fits in with our advice we gave to all our daughters when they went off to university, which was stay well hydrated, eat broccoli, make good decisions. That's the mantra for leaving home. So he's certainly taken the broccoli one to heart.
Well, it's very much a safety first kind of puzzling today. Up on screen, you could see Anna V, followed by Anna L, Anna Stoll, Anime in the lower left, followed by Anna Roos, and then April in the lower right. So this is the battle of the Annas. I know we've had the Hannah battle. Now we have the Anna battle, Anna battle. And you can see some serious sorting going on early for Anna V in the upper left hand corner there. The main goal for those kinds of sorts is to be able to organize it and then zipper through as quickly as possible with minimal touches, because sorting takes a little bit extra time. So it's an investment for future you to really be able to fly, as opposed to current you, which tends to do more pull a small subset, assemble it, small subset, and assemble it.
There's some terrific sorting going on. I can see there's a few puzzlers there have really gone for getting a very heavy color sort. Obviously preparing to work module by module, and just build out module at a time.
I want to point out that Anime's fun fact in the lower left there is Switzerland is known for the best chocolate, but in fact the Belgian chocolate is way better.
Is that a hard objective fact?
I was curious which way that was going to sit. Yeah, I think that's a hard objective fact, but you know it's not objective. It is tricky to puzzle on a background that has two different kinds of colors, and you can see Anime has that table with that wooden background and a glass center. So there's a little bit of different kinds of shading going on. It looks like she's going for a lot of those, a lot of that darker red, it might be the raspberries that she's trying to pull up there. And Stoll in the upper right hand corner, you can see that she did a really big pull for that pink background for that orange, like you were mentioning earlier, James. And I think that's a great call because again, it's a unique color, it's a unique texture, and that's what can really get you off the blocks early in these 1,000.
One of the things with working a 1,000-piece solo, and we did again running into one of our UK competitions, the Newmarket one. I have done quite a lot of practice for these. Is space management, because although our inclination obviously is often to get the frame in, you're then left with a fairly big frame, and if you're space limited, I can see it looks like our puzzlers on the screen at the moment, most of them have got the capacity to sprawl. Maybe April's working within a slightly tighter space, and actually how you go about getting your space management going is really sometimes something you very much need to take into consideration. Probably less so for a puzzle like this, because you can literally just build out a module, put it to one side. But also the use and value of boards in this situation, whether that's to pull your pieces onto work areas, or even to store areas once you've made them, so you've cleared your spaces and then you can put your structures together.
Up on screen now in the upper left, we can see Arya followed by Bjorg and Cameron in the upper right. In the lower left, we have Camille followed by Catherine L. and then Kiara in the lower right-hand corner. Everybody's off to a pretty good kick here. We're crossing the 16-minute line. You can see that Kiara in the lower right, she has a lot of the edge, but not all of it built. James, we were talking earlier about, is the border a good call here? Some of the pieces, it looks very much like those cells overlap really, really well with the border. So you can see that Kiara's done little chunks of it and has delivered it about where it's going to live, but hasn't fully completed it yet because there's some duplication in that background blue that might be sitting in some strange spots. And I've not seen Kiara do this a whole lot, of using a sorting tray in the middle of the build field and then delivering it out. But it might be something that's that she's been using for 1,000 pieces a little bit more often.
And just looking in the bottom left there, the amount of sorting that Camille has done. I don't think she's actually put a piece together yet, but she has the most terrific pile of sorted pieces.
Yeah, we sometimes call that squirrel piles, where where the pieces end up like little towers rather than spread out. And so you can make a quick grab with one hand to slide the entire chunk where it's going to be. It looks like Arya is finishing up that donut, one of those objects that's pretty cool. And Cameron McGrath had a fun fact, that the only puzzle that they knew, fun fact that they knew, was that the highest altitude puzzling is most likely from anime. But then remembered a few weeks ago that Lego pieces based on a movie, Project Hail Mary, were sent up to near space, about 35 kilometers above the surface of the Earth. So that might be the furthest from Earth that puzzle pieces have reached thus far.
So I was contemplating that fact, and there's a possible hole down which we could go here, which was what would make a good puzzle to be done in space. Are there any different features of a puzzle? And the most obvious one to me was you definitely want a proper tight fit puzzle, because a loose fit puzzle, you wouldn't want the pieces becoming disrupted and floating away. So I was almost thinking like some of those, we have the brand Corner Piece in the UK, which once you put the pieces together are very hard to get apart. And I thought probably something like that. So, or possibly one of those sort of plastic puzzles maybe even. But yeah, I was thinking a very tight fitting puzzle, probably not a 2,000 piece puzzle either. But any other suggestions for problems that people think they might come across if they were puzzling in space? I'd love to see those and have a think about what would make the best space puzzle.
I mean, for in space, I have lots of thoughts on that one. I want to introduce some more people here. Up on screen in the upper left, we have Christina B, followed by Diana E in the upper right, Dora doing a adorable job of crushing this puzzle. I think that's a new mascot on her table. In the lower left, Alita P, followed by Elisa and Evely, that has Pikachu guarding the sorting trays there.
I'm glad you got a lot of thoughts. This is a 3.5-hour broadcast. And if we are getting a bit dry, I'll just say the words space puzzle, Jim, and you've got to tell us your thoughts.
Well, I do want to I want to backtrack for a quick moment. Cat L had a fun fact that corrugated cardboard was first patented in 1856 for hats, but the first corrugated cardboard box didn't appear until the 1870s. So it was used as it was patented for hats before it was actually used as a box. I can only imagine somebody was standing on their head with one of the first hats and went, "This is the way to do this, is to hold things inside of this rather than try to hold the box on top of my head."
That's a good one. I'm going to see if my daughter is a structural cardboard designer, and I think I'm going to go back and see if I can get her with that fact.
That sounds like a great one. Let's take a look at what we have going. Yeah, Christina has a decent amount of sorting. I'm noticing that a lot of people are gravitating towards that donut as part of the first assembly. I think it's because that pink shading has a lot of those speckles on it, and so that sticks out in the pile and is very attractive. I wonder if a similar thing is going to happen with the pepper shaker at some point, because that has a lot of texture to the color and it's not quite so flat. We might end up in a situation where there's a little bit of a slowdown during the fill-in stages, but so far a lot of folks seem to be going for this island building style of assembly, where you make chunks and then deliver them about where they're going to go, and then you start filling in from there, rather than making a whole border and sunbursting or assembling directly off of the border the entire time.
It is interesting how people have. There's quite a lot of tactics where people are building the food features, and when I first look at this puzzle, I was wondering whether people would pull the background features as a puzzle of colors, and then get the edges for each chunk in, and then build into the food and use the border between the background and the food piece, and the edge and the background. So that's interesting. A lot of people have actually pulled the food pieces early. I hadn't spotted the speckles on the donut, but now I can understand why. Because I was looking at that pink, thinking they've pulled the pink and done that, but you've got quite a lot of pink thrown elsewhere in the puzzle.
Yeah.
So that makes complete sense that it's the speckles, isn't it?
On screen now, we have Fanny K in the upper left. We have Fleur in the upper middle, Freya in the upper right. In the lower left, we have Freya, followed by Graham, and then Hrefna in the lower right. Graham, another one of those folks coming off of UK Nationals, and I think Graham's done this I think Graham did this one last year, and you can see that he's off to a really good kick here. But this is really, really interesting. You see Freya in the upper right. Freya's done a little bit more of the build some of the border and branch out from it, rather than making a lot of those islands that are in the middle. She's trying to really use those cells and make sure that it's connected to an edge as she's working through it.
And Freya R in the bottom left has gone for completing modules. So she's built the central feature and then completed out to the edge of the border for the section she's working on.
Yeah, Graham does has a fun fact here, and did a little math for it. Since its inception, the EJJ has sent out over 13,000 competition puzzles with a total piece count of over 7.5 million. That is absolutely massive. That is a lot of tiny little bits of cardboard, folks.
We again bow down and honor Michelle for her, for her hard work.
That's that's just sheer volume that's really impressive. And you can see by volume, Graham is starting in on that lemon, and he started with some of the eye features on it, or got the outline of the lemon, and then branched out from there. I think part of why people aren't necessarily going for the outer part of the cells and working their way in James, is because there's so many pieces that have overlap in different directions. Like if I look at where one of those pink cell line borders are, there's also some purple, there's also some blue. So you have to decide how you want to prioritize that sort of pull. And I think for a lot of folks, it's a little more straightforward to go, this is the only color and only feature of its type. Let me grab that, assemble it, and then backtrack a little bit.
Yeah, I think that will start to come in once people have finished building the sort of obvious and easily pullable central features. I think then people will start to probably drop back into the more sortable and fixable background colors.
Yeah.
So we'll see how things unravel.
On screen now, we have Iona in the upper left. We have Inga S in the upper middle. We have Inga Sainal in the upper right, followed by Eva in the lower left, J. Katarina Coops in the lower middle, and Yana in the lower right. And you can see Inga is off to a really good kick, almost has that full border built out, has that apple in the lower left-hand corner and several islands kind of placed. She's probably close to about 200 pieces in at this point in terms of total assembly. And we are crossing the 26, we're getting ready to cross the 26-minute line here.
And some strong mascot work from Inga.
Absolutely, you can just see the intense stare coming from that mascot. I'm not sure we have the name for him.
Yeah, we'd love to know whether that's a character. If anyone wants to let us know,
might be his birthday. I always love this stage of the puzzle where people start getting through some of the early straightforward pulls, and then they have to start making decisions about how they want to proceed. You can see Inga had pulled out that Jello smiley face. Again, I think that's a case where it's a unique color, it's a unique texture. It just stands out in the pile just enough that you can grab all of it, drop it, and assemble it rapidly.
How many pieces would we say that is
for
that
just the jelly?
It's just the jelly.
I want to say it's probably about somewhere between 8 and 15 pieces.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's almost just a nice one handful pull, put it down, put it together. Yeah. Lovely.
On screen now in the upper left, we have Janine, followed by Jasmine and Yada in the upper right. In the lower left, we have Kaija and Karen, and I think that's Karina in the lower right. Yes.
No, I think this is a lovely choice. I think it's one of these that you're never particularly stuck for, at least at this stage, what you're going to do next. It's nice.
Oh, it's certainly tricky. You can see Karina in the lower right, really going for that island build. And what I enjoy about what she's doing here is she's not being super specific about the perfect placement early on. It's just assembly and then adjustment. You can see just now she's making a little bit more wiggle room. Because whenever you have this 1,000-piece puzzle, you're going to have to make little tweaks unless you have the whole border built in. And if you haven't gone border first, you can have probably about 10 to 15 pieces worth of wiggle room adjustment for anything that you assemble early on that can then lock in. So that way you're not doing a whole ton of retouching. And you can see the opposite of that is Yada right above her on the upper right-hand corner, where Yada has really tried to almost dead reckoning those larger sections. And if without that border, she's got to be really, really accurate on lining everything up.
Mm-hmm. And Karen looks like she's come prepared for the long haul. She has both snacks and drinks ready to go. I think for a 1,000-piece puzzle, that's wise. Looking next to Karen at Kaya in the bottom left, does look like she's sitting cross-legged on a floor solving this puzzle, which I think is an act of endurance for a 1,000-piece puzzle that I would not like to try and attempt.
Well, and a lot of times that comes down to just pure space. Do you have a table big enough? And Kaya is doing a great job moving around. It's definitely going to be an ab workout to have to lean over and grab those pieces. But they've also done a really hefty sort off to their right hand side that they're going to be able to pull rapidly through and make some make some assembly power happen. We're coming up on the 29-minute mark here, and as the screens are changing, I just want to add another fun fact that was in the chat earlier. SJ was saying that their other main hobby was quizzing, and Dan and SJ met at the Quiz Society in Warwick University, and that's really, really cool. Up on screen now in the upper left, we have Katarizaya in the upper left, followed by Kate C, Katrine S in the upper middle, in the upper right, Laura Adora Biro, in the lower left, Leonie Pulls, and in the lower right, Lydia Getty. Everybody's doing a really slick job here, and we can see that as we're crossing the 30-minute line, we're starting to have that fatigue moment of a lot of these pieces are looking the same. And this is where the upside downside of sorting can come in handy, where the upside is you might be a little bit further behind early on assembly in the sort, but it makes your life a little bit easier to group things at this stage of the puzzle. On the other end of the stick, you may have made a couple of extra touches as opposed to somebody who's just doing outright pulls at this point. We can see that from some of the other folks that are cooking at this stage. I'm gonna point out a fun fact. Lydia Getty in the lower right said that they met their actual team during their first competition ever, and now they have new friends, and that's really lovely.
I was looking at Lydia's space, getting a bit worried that they were going to have space, but they have just moved to an unseen area of the table at the bottom of the screen. So I think they've got probably a little more space than I thought they had at the beginning. So.
Oh yeah, and I like how they're using that whole table. A lot of puzzlers, they get hyper focused on one area and they stay in that one spot and then they don't move. And you can see that Lydia was running around the table, really changing the positioning so that way their body can reach all the pieces. Really cool move.
I like the height of the table though. I think I almost feel I need to get a special table built for that, where you can actually stand and walk around the table rather than having to sort of lean over. A nice sort of, tummy height table when standing. That's perfect.
You can see in the upper left here, we have Linda W, followed by Lindsay Ince, and then Lisa N in the upper right-hand corner. In the lower left, Lydia, followed by Lynn Everhart, sorry. And then in the lower right-hand corner, it's Marcia. And you can see Marcia is flying through this. These small sections really work well for Marcia's style of puzzling, of being very tactical and approaching small groups rapidly. And Marcia sometimes looks like there's chaotic puzzling. You can see that her pile is split left side and right side close to the screen, but she is still cruising through this really rapidly, and it's a lot of those cells lined up.
I may be mistaken, but I think if Dan and SJ met at Warwick, I believe that there's quite a few other very strong UK puzzlers who also were at Warwick, and I think there might even be two puzzling on in the competition today. Yes, I'm getting a thumbs up from Graham. I think I think the Guzzle crew all met at Warwick as well. So Warwick clearly has something about it that has produced a lot of our strong UK community of puzzlers.
I totally believe that. And this is just sort of checking through here. We can see that in the upper left again, Linda decided to go for that donut early and also grabbed that cheese. Linda might be feeling a little hungry. I know all these foods are on here, but those are the ones that are easily cooked and grabbable, I believe. But she's doing a great job. You can see that there was a big sort for a lot of those yellow pieces. Depending on how those are set up, she may have, oh yeah, the raspberries in the that lower right hand corner built in. So all those yellow pieces that you're seeing on the sorting board, those are the backgrounds that need to get finished up from the egg white, from the donut, and some of the raspberries that needs to get filled in.
Looking at the progress March is making, she's nearly got, I think it looks like she's done about 13 of the food pieces, almost in their entirety, working on the 14th there, the little berries. I think the little berries there, making terrific progress, and probably is not far off getting most of the food pieces actually completed, and then we'll just be looking to infill the color borders around them. This looks such a fun puzzle. I think I'd really like to do. I'd like to do this puzzle.
Me too. I think the Happily brand speaks to a lot of puzzlers, and they thoroughly enjoy it. On screen now, in the upper left, we have Marguerite. In the upper middle, Maya. In the upper right, Maya Maya P. In the lower left, Mandy S. In the lower middle, Marielle. And in the lower right, Margaret K. And there's even a shout out for Maria in the chat, an amazing friend I met thanks to speed puzzling, and hurry up and finish so I can come over and we can practice. from Marina Does Puzzles.
So where was the last place you put some Google eyes, Jim?
Well, the last place that I placed them, I'm not sure. I know that the last place Mari put them was on the underside of the toilet seat, so that way whenever you pick it up, it's just staring at you. And that was a moment that lives rent free in my head nowadays. What about you, James? Where do you put googly eyes?
I have no googly eyes. I feel this is a whole area of life experience I need to start to get in on.
I'm surprised you don't just start leaving chickens everywhere.
Yeah, well, yeah, you got to maybe get some little chickens. Yeah, that'd be rather good. We had a lot of fun last weekend playing a bit of chicken, didn't we?
Oh yeah. You'd see Marguerite in the upper left-hand corner there is doing a fabulous job with the assembly. It's cool to see her using the sorting tray as a landing spot for a lot of those cells that are assembled but don't necessarily have a home yet. You can see that her table kind of has a curvy edge to it, so there might be some concern that if you fill everything out early, it might fall off to one side. So space management is a big deal, especially on these 1,000-piece puzzles. Oh, and look at Marielle go. Yeah, Marielle's also doing assembly directly onto that sorting tray. Even though it's sitting on top of the pieces, if you have everything that you need, it can kind of draw your focus in, so that way you can zoom in. So that way you can zoom in and make some progress. You can see that Marielle is working on those raspberries. That's a little bit of a tricky section because of the duplication in those googly eyes, but she's making quick work of it just the same. We're getting ready to cross the 37-minute line here in this 1,000-piece solo competition. Up on screen now in the upper left-hand corner, though downstairs from where we're currently at, is Mari Black. In the upper middle, Maria TV. In the upper right, Mona Lynn. In the lower left, Nadia Galaski. In the lower middle, Natasha. And in the lower right, Nina T. There are so many puzzlers doing really, really cool stuff right now. You can see Mari has picked up a group of pieces in her left hand and then rapidly delivers them right where they're going to end up. That's kind of a high risk, high reward tactic, because you can end up with a bunch of pieces that you don't necessarily recognize right away, and then you've added an extra touch because you have to put them right back down again. So Mari's trying to take advantage of some of those sections that are a little more clear. Nadia is doing a great job. You can see that she's built out chunks of the border frame and is using a whole bunch of sorting trays to try to stay organized. It may look a little chaotic to us, but to her, she knows exactly where each of those pieces that have been assembled are living right now.
Yep, so Nada looks like she's got about 5 sorting trays on the go there. That's that's quite What an impressive array of sorting trays.
Yeah, that might be the most sorting trays that I've seen in use for an individual. But for a 1,000-piece puzzle, you do whatever you have to in order to make sure that you stay organized and you're cruising. You can see Natasha in the lower middle cruising through those yellows. I think those raspberries are going to cause some pain for people. But once they get them locked in, it's a great island that can then maneuver around a little bit.
See Mari working on a Zacco tray there. Do you think this puzzle will suit Mari? Is this? Do you think this is her sort of wheelhouse?
I think it's a pretty good one. A lot of collages tend to help puzzlers move pretty rapidly as it is, because things tend to be modular, and so there's not quite as much time for your brain to go through and say, hey, what do I do next, because the image kind of dictates what the direction needs to be. The trick might be discerning what is the most unique thing to work on at any point in time, and that's one of the things that Mari's pretty strong at, is breaking those images down.
And just as Mari's going off the screen, I think I'm sure you're, as a pair, too modest to mention it, but I need to mention what a terrific weekend Mari had last week, having the fastest time in the solo finals at the UK Nationals on a puzzle by Kevin Walsh, where we had Kevin Walsh in the room, and Jim and I got to chat to him, a legend of puzzle illustration. Anybody, a lot of people, even if they don't immediately recognize the name, they probably recognize his puzzles, as his vintage car illustrations have been on puzzles for decades now. And he's a lovely guy, very nice to have a chat to. And Mari absolutely bombed through his puzzle to get the fastest time in our UK Nationals last Sunday, pretty well a week ago as we speak.
Yeah, she was really thrilled to be there and be able to take part, and it was just, everybody was so welcoming, and she was also really proud of how well she did in that round, because that was not an easy puzzle. So everybody did great, and also huge cheers to Rachel, the UK national champ.
Yeah, no, they both did absolutely amazingly.
Yeah. On screen now, in the upper left, you can see Patrick Iniger, and that's the end of our alphabet. And we wrap around back to Robert Atkinson in the upper right. You can see that both of these players are using a black table, which probably helps some of these colors pop out a little bit. You can see that Patrick is lining up some of the assembly about where things are going to go. It might not necessarily be perfectly aligned, but it's giving him space to be able to make adjustments. And that's kind of important whenever you're doing island building, because if you're not 100% sure exactly what the gap size is between different cells, and you have them a little too close or a little too far, you may unintentionally miss joins because the pieces look like they may be too far apart. But Patrick's doing a really solid job here. I think Robert might be slightly ahead at this point, but not by much. It's going to be really close.
I'm really liking those black tables. They're giving terrific camera shots, aren't they? Worryingly, Robert looks like he's got a very sharp knife to the side there. So
I'm not sure if that may just be from the box, but it may also be a threat to the puzzle. As in, if any of these novels don't go in immediately, he may resort to violence to make sure that it fits.
In terms of either water, a natural enemy of the puzzle, or the blade,
it's natural predators.
He's
right?
racked up the two puzzle predators there.
Oh gosh. Well, on screen now you can see some of the puzzlers that are in the lead right now. Anime in the upper left, Kiara in the upper middle, Inga in the upper right, in the lower left, Marcha, followed by Mari Black, and then Sarka in the lower right-hand corner.
I'm so impressed with how quickly this puzzle is coming together. It's really quite something.
It's really impressive, and what's fun to notice is the ways that people are approaching this. Look at how look at how militantly organized Inga's puzzle is in the upper right-hand corner. You can see that she's pulling all of the pieces from the pile that are on the left and then trying to assemble it. And then there's a little bit of a piece jail in that upper right-hand corner where if it doesn't go in immediately, she's using that as sort of an overfill zone. Marcia in the lower left is in a similar way, but she doesn't have the whole border built out, and that pile is split from side to side.
Yeah, it's interesting how Inga's the only one who's actually working with a full frame, and how that just makes the whole puzzle look so much more contained and sorted. But hands are going terrifically fast there, getting those pieces in now. And I'm guessing I need to probably zoom in on a bit of a close up, but I think all the feet, I think she's literally just into background color filling now. So it's pull the color, fill the block, move on to the next one.
Yeah, and that's a tricky stage to be in because it's so split. And this is one of those trade-offs we were talking about earlier. If you do a whole cell in one spot, you don't necessarily have to do the extra traveling later on. You can see that Marcia is having to jump around the entire puzzle in order to do that fill-in, but it is going pretty effectively. Inga is in a similar spot, but because she has that border outline, she can use both the border edge and the stuff in between to operate as shape work. I want to point out Rosalind in the lower right-hand corner that just popped up. She has decided to go for a full cell assembly, which is why she has almost that entire carrot and that entire apple already worked out. And I think that's the mushroom in the far right. No, that's the French fries, I think, on the far end.
Yeah. I mean, just looking a bit further at the backgrounds, they are not flat backgrounds either. They've got shade, so it's not literally just pulling one tone. You're having to pull a number of different tones for each module.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting. I think right now Inga and Marcia might be in the lead overall. It's going to come down to who can push through the later stages of this puzzle and stay aggressive on the assembly, because we've started to hit that point of fatigue where a lot of these pieces start looking the same. You've been moving back and forth a whole lot. It's hard to focus on something for 45 minutes straight. So I think this is going to be a game of who wants it more at this point.
This is hard work for the elite end of the field, but I think in many ways it's even harder work for the rest of the field, in that in which I obviously would very much count myself if I was doing this puzzle, because I always find I am always going past the 2-hour mark on 1,000-piece puzzles, and 2 hours of continuous puzzling. Boy, that gets tiring.
Oh, absolutely. It's really intense. In the lower right-hand corner, we can see Anna Roos. Anna Roos's sweet boyfriend, Woter, wanted to share information. If you thought the dinosaurs were extinct, that's not true. In fact, you probably see them all the time, as birds are dinosaurs, which is indeed a true fact. And there are two types of dinosaurs: the so-called bird hip dinosaurs and the lizard hip dinosaurs. And which type do birds belong to? That's absolutely right. The bird belong to the lizard hip dinosaurs, which is wildly entertaining information. I will add to that there was a study several years ago by the Ig Nobel Prizes where they attached a stick using some putty similar to a plunger to the back of a chicken in order to see if they could mimic the way that a dinosaur would walk by changing its center of mass. And the videos on that are hilarious, where the chicken without the plunger attached to it walks like a normal chicken, leg up. But as soon as you add that extra tail, the hip hinges a little bit, which is where we start seeing more of that lizard-like action.
Now we're entering into a little bit of chicken content. I'm really getting interested.
SJ is also pointing out a fun fact that spaghetti was invented about 1,000 years ago in Italy, and broccoli was first cultivated by the Etruscans in Italy about 2,500 years ago. Oh wow! And you can see this assembly is being really difficult for a lot of our puzzlers. This is the stage where everything is looking very samey. And so they're trying to bounce around. Anime in the upper left-hand corner, you can see that she actually has a lot of that puzzle filled in. So there's really solid connections between those different cells left and right. It may not necessarily be top and bottom control, but that left and right is super duper tight. If you compare that to what March is doing, you can see that there's a couple of joins going on throughout, but it is still loosey goosey, and she's just trying to be super accurate on how she's aligning all of those pieces vertically and horizontally. It's super accurate how she's trying to set that up.
We've got a lot of broccoli facts coming in on the chat. That's excellent. I remember the first time I ever saw fresh broccoli was in the mid-70s, and prior to that, I believe it only existed in rectangular frozen blocks.
Oh wow! Look at Inga S. Inga is in the lower right hand corner. Inga has made several cells separately and is now starting to make those big joins in order to attach things. This is gonna be really exciting to see how she gets on here, because I think depending on how many of those chunks she has assembled, she may be moving into that fun category of looks initially behind and then suddenly launches into the stratosphere.
There's a thing Inga just did with the broccoli there that I think is really lovely about the Happily puzzles is she just very confidently picked up the broccoli, which, as we said, is probably about 20 pieces, and how nicely and what a precise fit they are, and there's no real fear about the whole piece just crumbling in your fingers and having to start again. They're very nice, precise puzzles, I think.
Absolutely. Well, and that's where if you want to pick up a section of a puzzle, you can use something called the Mallory move, where you grab either end of the section that you want to pick up and put a little bit of tension on it. Usually you want to do either end kind of like a diagonal, and that tension allows it where the novels lock into place a little bit, and then you can deliver it where it's going to go and drop it off. Really cool tactic. But some puzzles don't necessarily allow themselves to do that if it's a really large piece size, because then you get a little too much torque on the end and it kind of falls off if it's a straight line versus a box. All sorts of fun physics once you start getting into the details of that.
Yeah. No, I've definitely have tried that and had the opposite edges just curl down and collapse on me.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the cases where if you do a puzzle pickup, you tend to pick up adjacent corners, put tension in and pick it up, and let gravity do its thing from there. So at a certain size, you want to do adjacent sides rather than diagonal sides. For exactly that reason, you end up with the taco fold as you do the pickup.
I like the taco fold. That's very good, Jim.
You can see you can see on screen now, the lower left, Yada's doing an excellent job here. You can see the gap that she's left between the far left number of cells and that next row where there's like the carrot, the egg, and the French fry. And that's going to help her have space to do that fill in.
I'm really loving watching these puzzles come together. I think the whole business of puzzling is that sort of order from chaos thing, but this one in particular, it just so seeing those nice little, rectangular blocks fully formed on people's trays. It's pretty satisfying. This is a good watch.
Yeah, I want to point out that from Parky Puzzles, who also did a fantastic job at around co-hosting at the UK Nationals. Parky Puzzle says, "Shout out the jelly." I agree wholeheartedly. Cheers for the jelly. Zach in the lower right-hand corner, making progress on a lot of that pink background, and you'll see that with a lot of puzzlers. Once they have several cells that are the same, they lock in on a certain color and then they try to clean that out rather than bouncing around from pink to yellow to green or blue. It looks like he's trying to just get all of those pinks out of the way, and that lowers the noise in the pile a little bit.
Pink's the most common, isn't it? Followed by, let's see, by yellow and green. There's 4 pink, 3 yellow, 3 green, 2 blue, 2 sort of turquoisey. Yeah, but yeah, pink I think is the most commonly seen there. But it does look like it's almost 2 different sort of colors of pink.
Yeah. SJ is pointing out the fact that lemons are not a naturally occurring fruit. They are a human-invented hybrid created by crossing a citron and a bitter orange, which, in case you were wondering, means that life didn't give us lemons. We gave ourselves lemons, and so it's our own fault. We're scrolling through a lot of these screens rapidly because there's so many puzzlers that are doing a fantastic job. You can see that Inga is coming in at the last, I want to say about 200 pieces or so. And I think Marcha's in a similar spot. It looks like Marcha has pulled a lot of those yellow pieces off to the left-hand side. So that may have been a sort rather than a totally separate, but rather than sort of a random split. It looks like she's also using the bottom of where her table as a piece jail for some of those more off green backgrounds. Yada in the upper right has those yellows almost about done. You can see that they're still in the pile, and there just a moment ago you could see that little bit of reset, and that's what happens whenever sometimes those large sections are a little too close to each other and you need to make an adjustment to get those pieces in. Lower left, Sarka, big delivery there just now at the 54-minute and 49-second line, makes that adjustment to try to line those sections up. Graham Parker doing an excellent job. You can see that he has a piece tray up above his work area. I think that's a lot of that might be the edges that he's put onto that table. So that way you can try to work around that. Freya is doing an excellent job as well. Again, using that sorting tray right on top of areas that are completed. But this is going to be a runoff between Inga and Marcha at this point. I'm pulling both of them up. What's really fun to see is how each of their hands operate. You'd see whenever Inga goes to pull up a couple of pieces, she tends to keep her wrists face down more often than not. So she's only picking up 1, maybe 2 pieces at a time. So it's very similar to a piano player, whereas you'll see other puzzlers, they'll pick a few pieces up, they'll rotate their fists, their wrist, like Marcha just did just now, where her right hand is face up, and then she deals them off almost like an impromptu piece tray. And this is one of those cases where if you know what it is that you're picking up out of the pile, you don't need to do that extra rotation because you're delivering it immediately to where it goes. There's not that extra moment of, I need to see it in order to place it again a little bit later. So Inga might be getting a handful of little micro advantages over time here, just because she's able to be more accurate coming out of the pile rather than grabbing a few things and then solving it after she's picked it up. Marcha's doing a great job here. You can see that she's making those adjustments. She's now moved on to trying to clear out the rest of those yellows. But I think that yellow, while there is some shading in the yellow, like you were saying, James, a chunk of it around that egg is really, really flat. So if these puzzlers are able to see which chunks are shaded, they can lower the count there, and then they can try to attack some of that by shape work.
I could give you a fun non-fact about lemons. So there's been a rumor going around, a myth that is that the difference in the lemony and orange taste is due to 2 stereoisomers that, well, the same molecule, but they're stereoisomers of each other. One found more in lemons and one found more in oranges, but it's not actually true. It's other little flavors and chemicals that give lemons and oranges their different flavors. Gosh, we're really getting down to some and Inga's table there, much fewer pieces. And I'm sort of interested with people still standing up. I, as somebody who tends to very rarely stand up when puzzling because my back now will just not cope with it, I'm always impressed when people just stand up for the sort, and to have some people who've clearly stood all the way through so far. We're coming up to an hour. I think that's a terrific feat of stamina and strong musculoskeletal system.
Oh yeah. Well, Rob Shields of Peace Talks was recently interviewed on Oakland Public Radio, I think is OPR. And he was mentioning that there's some puzzlers that are actively doing crunches, trying to develop core muscles and back muscles in order to be able to remain standing for a long period of time, which makes a lot of sense because we're getting ready to cross the 59-minute line here. And I think Inga and Marcia have both been standing this entire time, and they've got to be feeling the weight of the world on that lower back right now.
So when we were talking last weekend, we'd had this thing about what's going to be the last thing left in the puzzle to do. For Marcia, it might well be the edge. It might be finishing off that edge.
Yeah, and that might be, again, that's one of those trade-offs, because that edge is because of the way that the cut sits on the edge, and you can see some of that coloration. You don't need that much information to make a quick guess as to where those pieces go if you've already separated it. So she's going to be able to rapidly cruise through that outer chunk of the puzzle. But I think Inga has the piece count advantage here right now.
So we said we were looking for maybe getting down to the 115 mark. I think we're going to be comfortably inside that. SJ's put on the chat 112. Yeah, I think everyone's going just terrifically here.
Yeah. You can see in the lower right-hand corner, Inga S is doing a really cool tactic here, where again she's assembling things on that puzzle board, and then is airdropping it about where it's going to live in the puzzle a little bit later. It's a way to maintain space whenever you don't have a lot of room. And you can see that J. Katarina Coops in the lower middle there doing a very similar thing. It looks like she has 3 layers and going for her fourth layer of sorting trays in order to assemble a lot of those islands. And then once there's room cleared out on the table, is going to go back through, drop them off in lines. You'll see that sometimes in teams and pairs puzzling, where one person will work on a target outside of field, and then once it's ready and it's done and there's room, they'll bring it in, airdrop it where it's going to live. It's one way to make sure that there's not a bunch of hands all in the same spot. And it's really cool to see a solo puzzler do this in order to keep control over a really tight space.
Yeah, that space management we were talking about earlier on can just really be super important with this size puzzle. Everyone's done the puzzle in the traditional way round. I haven't seen anybody working in a more of a portrait view. I wonder if we might see a little bit of that for space management. But yeah, no, it's often quite difficult to work out how to get your pieces, especially at the beginning, on the table and have a successful area in which to work.
As another fun fact, several years ago there was an Ig Nobel Prize in economics for assessing the perceived personality of rocks from a sales and marketing perspective. Meaning that they showed people images of rocks and tried to say, hey, can you determine the personality of this rock? And used it as market research.
That'd be an interesting grant application, Jim.
Yes, and again, those are the kinds of things where it makes you laugh and then think. So it sounds silly, but if people prescribe personalities to things, to inanimate objects, figuring out why and how they're doing that becomes an interesting branch of psychology, on top of the economics of it, in terms of how that's going to affect sales of all sorts of things. You can see that we really are coming into the last chunk of this race here. I think Inga is accelerating very rapidly. She can now use the shape of the piece as well as that coloration in order to wrap this up. She's down to just a little bit of those blues and greens in the background here. So she is rapidly approaching the end. Marcia is doing a great job. You can see that she hit a little bit of a wall because of how this is split with those backgrounds. And it is as beautiful of an image as this is, and as great as everybody is doing, it is a little bit of a tricky close at this stage.
So I Love Puzzles has just put in the chat the fact that a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle has over 100 billion possible wrong combinations, but only one correct solution.
Mm-hmm.
And our puzzlers are working hard to try and reach those today.
Yeah, it's very similar to protein folding in that respect, where you can have a whole bunch of different conformations for the shape of how everything is supposed to collide. But at the end of the day, there's only a handful that will really allow for a proper protein to function. You can see Anime in the lower right there, closing out a lot of those pinks. I think she just has those yellows and blues remaining. Graham Parker cruising through those middle islands. You can see that he's decided to complete an entire cell before moving around too much. Hrefna doing a solid job. Has a similar island setup as Graham. I think I can't quite tell because I think Graham put his sorting tray over top of some of the finished build in the lower left, but they may be about even here. Yada doing a great job. You can see that the far end of that puzzle has a little bit of a gap where the Jello is supposed to live, I think, but she's mostly down to those blues in order to finish that up. Marcia moving rapidly. You can see that fatigue is setting in a little bit for a lot of our puzzlers, because they've been going for an hour and 5 minutes at this point, and standing for this long is really tough, and a lot of those colors start looking the same. It might also be the case that there's a little bit of glare coming in from their windows, bouncing off of that table, causing some snags. Fun fact for those of you still listening, you can handle awkward glare by playing around with the diffraction lines or using a diffraction light, diffusion lighting. So that way light comes in from multiple angles and it bounces off at multiple angles, rather than all of the light coming in one direction and bouncing off in one direction, which usually causes glare.
The residual pile for most of the people coming to an end definitely does look like the blues and greens. That seems to be fairly strongly represented across the people coming more towards the end. So I do wonder whether that is where the more tricky bit of puzzling is, or whether I think puzzlers just generally do have a bit of a tendency to pull the hot, warm colours early. It's a bit of a joke that I always end up doing the thing that's red at the beginning when we're doing any pairs or teams. I think a lot of puzzlers are like that. They'll pull for the obvious hot colours first. But it might also be in this puzzle that those blues and greens are the harder bit of the puzzle here.
Well, it's also the case that a lot of times the human eye reacts very rapidly to things that are red and yellow, because those tend to be danger signals in nature. And we've evolutionarily developed this sort of reflexive reaction to go red, aha, and take rapid notice of it. So there's certainly a component of that. I also think that it's the case that there is a lot more blue, green, and teal throughout this entire image. And so waiting to kind of dig through that pile for a little later is probably a really strong play here.
Yeah, this is one of the features of the paintings of John Constable, who painted things like the Haywain and Fulford Mill, was it? That he would always just put a little bit of red. Lots of very natural scenes of sort of pastoral life and village scenes, but he would, in amongst the landscape, he'd always just put a little bit of red, and it just would draw the eye in into the painting, and he became a very famous, very wealthy artist, just with that little bit of red.
Yeah, we're coming up on the we're coming up on the hour, 7 minute and 30-second line, and you can see that this is going to be a really tight finish to see if Inga can keep this under an hour 15. Inga is fabulously quick at 1,000-piece puzzles, and you can see why. But look at how quickly Yada has caught up here in the upper right-hand corner. Her physicality has gone bananas. You can see that there's another set of pieces on the far end of the table, so we can't do a really solid piece count, but I think those are all edges, and she is just cleaning up a lot of the middle at this point. If she really pushes here, she might be able to catch up. I can't quite get a good piece count.
She's got her full edge to get in, Jim, I think. I don't think she's got any edge.
Okay. She might have to get the full edge in, but she is doing amazing right now. Yeah, I'm trying to zoom in a little bit on some of our competitors. I think Inga is down to maybe about the last 30 pieces or so here. So yeah, I'm not sure Yada's gonna be able to catch her. You can see that Yada did make a little bit of a squirrel pile, that group of pieces that are stacked almost vertically. I think they're all going to be of the same type, and she's going to be able to rocket through those very rapidly. Anime in the lower left doing a solid job cleaning up a lot of those yellows. You can see that Mari Black in the lower middle is also cruising. She's decided to put a lot of pieces on a sorting tray in the middle where she's completed a section, so that way it lowers the travel time to finish up some of those green backgrounds. And Rosalind in the lower right being very meticulous to wrap up that mushroom. But this is Inga coming into the last little bit here. You can see she started to use her, she started to do the wrist rotation. So all of those pieces tend to be very similar. And so I would expect it to be the case of grab a group, take a quick look at it and see what the shape is going to be, rather than knowing exactly where it's going to live before you pick it up. And you can see that she's dealing them off almost like cards, like a dealer at a blackjack table, rapidly getting those out of the way. Yada has finished the inside of this puzzle and now has just the border to work out, but Inga is closing in on the last 15 pieces or so. Is she going to be able to keep this under the hour and 11-minute line? We're at an hour 10 and 10 seconds right now. She has the last probably the last 8 pieces to go here. Anything she picks up can go in. There is no ambiguity at this point. It's going to be able to drop very rapidly, and it's just going to come down to, can she keep the concentration to this point to finish that egg? I think she's doing an excellent job here coming into the close. We're at 1:10:30. Can she get those last couple of in? You can see there's a little bit of uncertainty because of the duplication in the background. Get that last one in. Can she jump over to the timer? There it is. Congratulations, Inga, for a first place finish.
So it looked like that was about 1:10:20. Terrific finish there. We've got the last bit of work done. Well, the mascot's gone crazy.
As well it should. As well it should.
We want official details on the mascot. We've got the finishing off there with the spaghetti fork, followed by the sausage, and then the sardines at the bottom. And getting those last few pieces in on those light blue backgrounds. Terrific work, Inga. Very strong puzzling.
You can see Yada now is doing a great job finishing up the outer edge of this. I'm really excited to watch how she goes about this, because there's some puzzlers that would grab a handful of pieces and sort of go around the entire outside like a typewriter. And you can see that she's kind of doing that process. I think she's trying to pick up specific colors and then is moving around to where those chunks exist on the image itself. Yes, she's going to try to finish up the rest of those yellows. There's only 3 spots where they can live, so if she gets those and knocks them out, it lowers the uncertainty inside of the pile. Yep, you can see she stands up, grabs a handful, delivers them about where they're going to be in that lower yellow section for that raspberry. That shading down there is going to help a lot. I think there might be a tiny little bit of difference in hue in the background, but I'm not, my eyes don't quite see it whenever it's not on the cut like that. This is some fantastic puzzling for folks at home. Usually doing a 1,000-piece puzzle on your own can take it can take well over, well over 5 hours if you're not a speed puzzler. A lot of speed puzzlers, they can get a solo puzzle done in probably about 2.5, 2:45, depending on the image. So once you start getting down under the 2 hour line, it's really impressive. Getting down under the 1.5 hour line is wildly impressive, and is really a showcase of some high level puzzling skills. And to get it down under 1 hour 15 is just phenomenal. And you can see that these folks are doing really, really great work. Yada's physicality has not slowed down one bit. On screen, you can see Anime in the lower left-hand corner has moved on to trying to get those blues and greens worked out. She has also foregone doing the whole border just yet. Kiara in the lower middle, she's been doing a great job the entire time. She made a lot of those cells early on and then worked through the joins, and now she's doing that same tactic of putting the pieces onto the puzzle board and then delivering them where they're going to go. Marcia in the upper right, she has a lot of that border built out at this point, and needs to move on to finishing up those yellows that are split between where the egg is and where the donut is on the far side. So those pieces are split, but it's going to be really, really close to see who's going to grab third. But I think second place is going to go to Yada very soon here. She's doing a great job. You can see that she's moved on to the next round of colors. I think she finished up the pinks just now.
Onto the blues, is it now?
Yes, yeah. She's trying to. I'm not sure how clear that really deep blue is, but if she can see that, yes, there she goes. Yeah, she grabbed that really dark, dark blue, the darker blue by the cheese, grabs all of them, tries to sync them. There's some lighter blue by the French fries, and then I think it's that duplication between the slightly greenish blue for where the egg is and the slightly bluish green for where the hot dog is. I'm not quite sure how to describe those two colors, Graham. Or sorry, James. Good gravy. I was looking at Graham's. I was looking at Graham's video while I was talking to you. Sorry about that.
It's quite when there's another very similar puzzle. Happily do. I think they do the 500-piece puzzle in a very similar style. I'm just. But the pieces are slightly different positions.
Yeah, this is going to be really, really exciting to watch the finish here. You can see Mari Black probably has about 200, maybe about 200 pieces remaining. It's a lot of those yellows and blues that are throughout the rest of the puzzle. She didn't do the entire edge, and so that's going to be that'll go pretty quick for her once it's locked in. Kiara has a lot of the edge, but the middle is remaining, so she's going to be able to do a lot of shape work in order to finish that up. Marcia has moved on to getting those yellows in. J. Katarina Krups in the lower right, you can see that she's done a lot of those cell assemblies and now just needs to start lining them up on the table. There it goes. Yada coming in on the last, I want to say about 15 pieces here. We are currently at the 1:15 and 48-minute line. Can she keep this under 1:17? I'm pretty sure she's going to be able to do it. Just finishing up that little bit of a corner. It's going to be a typewriter brute force close where she tries the same piece in every spot. You can see her hopping around one by one to some of those other slots. There it is, closing out on those last 4 pieces. 3, 2, 1, get the last one in. There it is. Congratulations. Just over 1:16.
Well done. Terrific puzzling.
It's really, really well done. And now the hunt continues for our top 10, overall. You can see that Anime is doing a solid job here. Is down to those blues and the blues in the upper left where the spaghetti fork is, and the greens in the lower right with the egg. This is going to be a little bit of a runoff. It looks like Marcia has gotten to the point where there's mostly shape work left for her. So we might see an acceleration there. Kiara doing a great job, needs to fill in that green carrot background, and that's where you have a little bit of color duplication. And depending on the lighting, where that egg is and where that carrot is can be a little bit of an optical illusion for the colors.
I'm so impressed how Kiara accelerated into getting that puzzle together. when we were back at her a little while ago, I thought she didn't look like she got very much joined up, and then all of a sudden she was really a long way into the puzzle.
Well, and that's one of the things that Kiara is just phenomenal at, is she sets up a lot of groundwork ahead, and then all it takes is 3-4 joins, and suddenly it all zippers together very rapidly. Marcia is at that point, is almost at zero ambiguity. You can see there's a couple of gaps over on the left-hand side where the fork is. I think once she gets those in, it'll be zero. Anime has just has a little bit more of that fork to finish out, but then she's going to have just border work to do, and it'll be interesting to see how she goes about that. If she's going to go cluster, deliver, or if she's going to go full typewriter around the outside. This is going to be a really tight race between folks that are left. And Stoll is doing a great job as well. Just saw her pop up a moment ago. You can see in the lower left-hand side of the screen, she has that egg that's remaining, has a lot of that border worked out. So it's just a little gaps of fill-in at that stage. Oh wow! And look at what Mari's done. Mari has separated all of those edge pieces and a little bit of the fill-in. So now she's going to start adjusting to get a lot of that edge in before dealing with anything that's left in the middle. I think it's that hot dog, that light blue background being a little tricky for her. Kiara's doing a great job. I think Kiara's down to maybe about the last 40 pieces or so. It's a little difficult to say. I think it's mostly just that egg and the carrot. Marcia, at the point of zero ambiguity, anything she picks up can go in. There's not going to be any gaps at this point. Anime, down to just the outside of the border, you can see that she's hopping around. She's also gone for this grab a cluster of similar colors and then deliver it to the edge. She started out with that yellow because it jumps out, it screams almost in order to get put in. And Stoll doing a great job working on the backgrounds of that carrot. I think March is down to the last, I want to say about 15 pieces here. Mari Black trying to force those edges in. We can see that Kiara is accelerating into this close because there's no ambiguity for her either. Anything she picks up can go in. Marcia and Kiara are both moving very rapidly. Marcia's hand speed is just bananas. I always like getting to see her puzzling, but you can see she uses that right hand almost like an impromptu puzzle tray. She loads it up, then she brings it over, drops a couple of pieces in, and then reloads it. She's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She's 10 pieces away, 11 pieces away from being able to finish. I think there's one gap over on the far right-hand side. I don't know if that's a missing piece or not, but she's doing great. Anami's doing a solid job in the upper right-hand corner, only has that edge to finish. Kiara down to about the last 20 pieces or so. This is going to be really, really tight for our top 10.
Certainly working the inner pieces, I think, is looks like it's a much faster end tactic for our puzzlers coming into the finish there.
And there's the last one for Marcia. She hits the timer just under 1:21. Congratulations.
Well done, Marcia. Terrific.
That was a fantastic finish. And now the race continues. We have Kiara, who's down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces remaining. You can see that she's as soon as she picks it up, she's trying to brute force it. So she's trying that same piece in several different spots until it goes in. She hasn't resorted to violence of like chopping off the knobbles just yet. She's down to the last 3, 2, 1, gets it in. Congratulations, Kiara, hit the timer. I think that was just under 1:21:30. So close there. Whenever you have finishes that are all within the same, 5 seconds of each other on a 500-piece puzzle, that's relatively negligible. There's some randomness that can happen on the initial flip where you have more pieces face down. On a 1,000-piece puzzle, whenever you're within 30 seconds, a few minutes of the other people, that compounds. And so everybody did a really, really good job with this so far. You can see on screen, Ann Stoll in the upper right-hand corner has only that egg background remaining. And I think that's Laura Dora Biro in the lower right has some fill-in for the egg and the hot dog area where it's that blue background and then all of the edge to finish up. This is going to be really fun to watch here. Anime cruising through that border. You can see that she's jumped tactics a couple of times. I think that some of those edge pieces have unflipped themselves at some point, or maybe weren't flipped initially. But she's kind of she's going back, trying to make those adjustments very rapidly to stay on point. You can see Mari Black in the upper right-hand corner. I think she did a little bit of a shape sort in order to try to get those blues worked out. We're coming up on the hour 22-minute and 48-second line.
Yeah, Mari certainly looks like she's got most of her puzzle filled in, apart from the spaghetti, and she just finished off the egg there. So she's going to move her pieces across like Inge did at the end to get them close, get the top hot dog sausage done, and then fill in around the spaghetti there.
Yep. And Stoll coming in on probably the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces here. Is she going to be able to keep this under the hour 24-minute line? I think she can do it. Anything she picks up is going to go in. You know, again, those backgrounds are so tricky, and you have to do a lot of shape work at this point in order to sync the rest of this.
I think we're going to have a fair few puzzlers under the hour and a half there, Jim.
I'm so excited. My dream is always to clear the room. I want everybody to be able to finish. Mari picks on me now because when she's commentated the last couple of times, she's cleared the room. So I need everybody to do me a solid and don't let her have all of the bragging rights.
So I think if we don't clear the room today, I don't think it's going to be skill. It'll be exhaustion.
Good chance. And there's Anne. Anne hits the timer just over an hour 24. Congratulations, Anne. Very, very, very well done. This is going to be really, really great puzzling by everybody. You can see Mari Black coming in on the last, I want to say 20 pieces or so of the edge, maybe a little less. Anime trying to chew through that blue. I think Mari and Anime are really close. I think Mari has the piece count advantage. If the rest of that corner is already worked out, yes, she's coming in on the last 5 pieces, finishing up that pasta, chewing through it very quickly. She hits the timer. Congratulations, Mari, just under an hour 25.
Very good.
Super excited for Mari. This is the first time she's competed in a 10 a.m. EJJ, not at 4 a.m. So I'm pretty jazzed for her. And we get a thumbs up with Ku in the background.
No excuses this week.
Just pure puzzling excitement, which is wonderful. You'd see Anime trying to chew through those blues. They're a little more distinct now. Yes, you can see her finishing up the cheese. Now, is she going to do a big swipe, or is she going to deliver each one? Oh, there's the big swipe. Yeah, she takes all those pieces over into the pasta region, and then she's going to try to finish up that corner very, very rapidly. This is an exciting round of puzzling for everybody.
I've seen this happen a lot in the last sort of 20 minutes or so. The puzzle pieces properly being moved to close proximity to where they are going to rest.
Yeah, it's whenever you have maybe 4 or 5 pieces, the extra transfer isn't that huge of a cost. But once you start getting up into that 15, 20, 30 piece region, that those extra laps end up adding up very, very quickly. And Anime hits the timer, I think just under an hour 26. We'll double check the clock here shortly. Congratulations, Anime.
So who else are we going to get under the hour and a half? I think we've got some strong contenders. We've got people nearly there. The edge certainly seems to take a little while. It's a good fair few minutes to get that edge in for our speedy puzzlers today. So I think when you get to just the edge left to do, as some people have done tactically, I think that is still going to take people a fair few minutes to go.
Yeah. Well, and this is one of those reasons that you see more and more puzzlers practicing 100-piece sprints. And it's because this border here is 126 pieces. And so if your fastest 100-piece sprint is at 5 minutes, then you would expect it'll take about 5 minutes to do that whole border, maybe a little less because it's because you can see everything. So the faster you can do those sprints, the more you can call on that physicality in order to get through the end of the ends of puzzles like this, in order to do that close. You can see Sarka getting into the last 5 pieces, just needs to crack this egg get that edge, that chunk of the edge in. There we go. 3 pieces left. 1, 2, 3. Oh, a little bit of a misfit down there. Had to make an adjustment, and that's a slick move by Sarka. Hour 27:31, I believe. Congratulations, Sarka.
I've got a little message on the call chat from Anime saying, "Thank you so much for the puzzle. I fell in love with it at first sight years ago, but never bought it. So that's nice. So she's actually got to be able to do the puzzle. That's fantastic." We've got some carrot facts coming on the chat, which is that carrots were not originally orange; they were purple, white, and yellow. And fittingly, it was the Dutch who invented orange carrots through cultivation about 500 years ago.
That seems like a Dutch thing. And making it orange, and yes, SJ, it is indeed not a carrot. It is a parsnip wrapped in a carrot. But I put carrots and parsnips in the similar this tastes nice veggie family. Probably not the right classification system though. On screen now, you can see in the upper left, Laura Dorabiro coming into just doing the rest of that edge, trying to get that border worked out. Inga S in the upper middle, as the border remaining, you'd see that she's put all the pieces on those puzzle boards in the middle of the image. That way she doesn't have to travel one side to the other. She can just work out of the middle. Anna Roos in the upper right doing a fantastic job, has that full border completed under the 128 line, and now just needs to finish up those greens and light blues regions. Karina in the lower left, similar story. All of these puzzlers are doing a really, really wonderful job. Graham Parker, his goal was to get a 1,000-piece puzzle done under the 2-hour line, and we are coming up on an hour 29, and he has only about, I want to say, maybe about 50 or 60 pieces left. He's going to be able to breeze through the rest of this and really stay under that 2-hour line. And Tyler's doing a great job as well. You can see that he can use Tyler can do a lot of shape work at this point in order to finish this up. And Maya in the lower right-hand corner, who we just saw, has a lot of edge to finish up, but is working on those yellows right now, and then can get on to brute forcing the rest of the outside of this.
So I think about of our puzzlers, I think about 2/3 seem to get the edge in and get their frame in place, and about 1/3 have left it as the last thing to do. But different strategies being used here.
Yeah, I think it's definitely one of those things where we talk about trade-offs all the time in speed puzzling and what's the most efficient route. So if doing that border early gives you structure that will give you an advantage throughout the rest of the puzzle, great way to do it. I think a lot of these puzzlers saw they weren't going to be able to sunburst effectively, or maybe grinding through that border was going to take a little too long. So they made this alternate route of, I'm going to do it at the end whenever I have more information to work towards the border rather than away from the border. Yeah, and you can see Laura Doro coming in on those last couple of pieces, just cruising along there, really using that discerning coloration between the different blues to finish that out.
And our chat has turned to conversations about parsnips. So are you aware of the concept of neeps and tatties, Jim?
I could take a guess, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere near what it actually is.
The neeps and tatties are served traditionally with haggis, and tatties are potatoes. And neeps are...
Oh, that's the thing that creaks whenever I go up and down stairs, right? The things on my legs that creak.
So neeps are not parsnips, they're Swedes. We call Swedes, I think what I believe you would call rutabagas, is that right?
I'll take your word for it. I thought Swedes was a group of people. Laura just finished at the 131.12 line. Congratulations. And SJ, I agree with both you and James. Haggis is fantastic. I highly recommend everybody give it a go.
Veggie haggis is available.
Oh wow. Yeah, we crossed the 132 minute line here, the hour 32 minutes, and these puzzlers are going like crazy, and this is where it's really difficult to keep that pace that you had at the start going, because everything starts looking very similar. And at this stage, you have to start talking to yourself about how you're going to solve it. I know a lot of puzzlers repeat to themselves quite a bit, like, oh, this is a slog, or this is really, really difficult. And your eye focuses on what you're thinking about. So if you're thinking more about describing what you're seeing, it can help boost you into the later chunk of this puzzle rather than getting caught in the slog. So everybody keep working really, really diligently, keep the physicality going. You're doing great. I think a lot of folks are going to be able to keep this under the 2-hour line, and we have a ways to go here.
Yeah, because if you're puzzling a 500-piece puzzle and you're puzzling at 90 minutes in a sort of like a world championship or something like that, you're thinking, oh, I'm into a piece count now, and you're feeling a bit miserable. Whereas if you're puzzling here, but you're nearly done at 90 minutes, you're actually doing extremely well. And really, that's when you need your boost of energy just to bring you home, still to get a terrifically good time.
Well, I think we had our 10th place finisher sneak in under the under the radar, Freya. So our top 10 here for this 1,000-piece solo competition, we have Inga S in first place with 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 38 seconds, which is crazy, by the way. I'm just gonna throw that out there. That is a bananas time. Yada in second, Marcha in third, Kiara in fourth, Anna in fifth, Mari Black sixth, Anime in seventh, Sarka at eighth, Laura Biro in ninth, and Freya Davidson Bremborg at slot number 10 at 1 hour 32:58. Everybody's doing a really, really fantastic job. These times are so close together. It looks like it looks like we had 3 finishers within about a minute of each other in the top 10, which just kind of goes to show how every second matters. Every little push you can give yourself goes a really long way. And now we're about to have the deluge of finishers. We can see Inga S coming into the last little bit here, closes that out just over 1 hour 34. Very, very well done. Graham is coming in on the last few pieces. Come on, Graham. I'm trying to pull his image up here. There it is. Yeah, Graham hit the timer. Congratulations. Well under the 2-hour line. I hope that's a new PR for Graham Parker. The just a fabulous human being that I got to hang out with at UK Nationals. Just can't say enough nice things about the guy.
And we obviously have to mention the Puzzle, which they run in the UK, which often sells out, which is their online competition.
It's a great problem to have.
Yeah. So I have to admit, I might have mentioned talking about the puzzle early on. I don't have the puzzle with me, so I pulled up a Google image, and there is a Happily image of this puzzle with the same name that has a completely different image. It has a lot of the same foodstuffs. So for the first 30 minutes, I was talking about a puzzle that had a pineapple in the top right-hand corner and sardines and sardines in the bottom right-hand corner. And it's only when you said the egg, and I was looking for the egg, and I could see one egg, and then you were talking about the egg in the that I cottoned that I was actually not looking at the right puzzle. But it is the first image that comes up if you Google this Happily Foodies. And I must look into it whether this is a second edition and they've changed the image, or you see Tyler doing a big sweep of his pieces across there.
There it is. And congrats to Rosaline and Anna and Rosalina for a fantastic finish. Yeah, I always enjoy it whenever puzzlers either do a big sweep or they do what Katarina Coops has done, again, putting a lot of those pieces onto a board. And I think she just slid them off at one point, so that way it wasn't like picking up in each individual piece, which would add a lot of time. Just slid them off onto the board, and now easy access to wherever it needs to be delivered. Diana, I think, yeah, that was Diana, had a fantastic close there. There's so many people that are under the hour 40 line here. It's just phenomenal.
Tyler's all done now. That's great.
There it is. Congrats. Just a year ago, having some of our top 10 times be between like an hour 30 and 2 hours was the like really impressive. This is the high end line, and the competition just keeps going up and up, and the puzzlers are getting faster and faster, and it's so cool. I wonder how many people are going to PR on this puzzle today.
Not all the puzzles are getting faster. Some of us are getting slower.
I believe in you, James. I have no doubt. I have no doubt you'll be getting faster. It's the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
Oh wow. You can see Sophie in the bottom middle there just did a little bit of an adjustment, so that way she can get the rest of those blue pieces where they're going to live. I think there's zero ambiguity. It's just that pasta on the outside. It looks like Karina in the lower left-hand corner has a little bit of border and some of those yellows to finish out. Yeah, I think Karina was one of those puzzlers that did a lot of the blues early, because that jumped out to them, and then backtracked in order to do the yellows. It looks like Eva in the lower right-hand corner is going to do that typewriter style for getting the rest of the border finished up here. You can see that she's put a lot of those yellows on top of a green area of the puzzle, so that way they don't get lost and you can still see them. There's distinction there, and then she's going to finish that up rapidly. Hrefna in the upper left, I believe that's our competitor from Iceland, closing this out just around the hour 38:37 line. Congratulations, Hrefna.
And Karina's still got a few patchy bits of edge, mainly blue adjacent edge to finish off, but is going very nicely there. A few inner pieces to fill in, but is very nearly done.
And in the lower right-hand corner, we can see Camille H. She is in fact puzzling on the floor, but is keeping several pieces on the table. So she's sort of spinning around to grab pieces, drop them on the floor, and do some of the assembly there, in order to save some space or be able to see, in order to see the piece, see the build field easily.
That's pretty extreme puzzling.
Yeah, I wonder if getting one of those spinny chairs that kind of goes up and down would be good, because you could like lower it real quick on the rotation and bring it back up. I think Camille's done a little bit of a sort there with what's on the table versus what's on the floor, but it's but she's yep, there we go. We can see her turning her a full stand up to grab some pieces, and then returns back to the floor. I think if this is the pieces that she has remaining, she'll keep this under 2 hours. I'm gonna put that J. Katarina Coops is coming in on the last, I want to say 25 pieces or so here. Karina in the upper middle is also just on fill in and a little bit of border. I think we're going to have a little bit of a runoff between those two. Eva's doing an excellent job getting the border. Anna Roos down to about the last 30 pieces. We're going to have a really tight race here for who's going to lock in the next couple of slots in this solo competition. Robert Atkinson in the upper left-hand corner just has yellows to finish out. And Jay Katarina down to the last 3 pieces. Get those in. Come on, you can do it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Congratulations, Katarina. All right. Well, I wanna bring up somebody to have a little chat with us here. Inga, if you're still on the line, would you like to talk to us about your puzzling today?
Hi, of course.
Hello there. Let me start off saying congratulations. That was a crazy fast time for this kind of puzzle.
Thank you.
How does it like? I know you've put up some phenomenal times for thousands. Have you seen this one before or done it before or anything like that?
No, like I've seen it once online maybe, but I've never done it. But I thought it was cute. My gym really likes these kind of funny guys. So I saw it once and I was like, Jim would like this. So the first thing he said when he walked in and he saw me doing this puzzle, he was like, "Oh, that's a cute puzzle."
Oh, Power to the Jim James axis. It's always excellent to hear. Is that your fastest time for a 1,000-piece, Inga?
For first time, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's terrific. And I'm sure you've introduced your mascot before, but you need to tell us about your mascot today.
This is Piotr. I don't know. It's like it's from a theme park in the Netherlands, but it's like a snowy guy. But I really like him as my mascot, so it was nice that you gave him some screen time.
Yeah.
That you pointed him out, and that he went wild when I won. That was also very cute.
Yeah. So you like the modular nature of this puzzle, then, Inga? This is this little right up your street.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I really like those kind of puzzles. So yeah, I thought it was going to be a happily, so I was like, oh, I always enjoy those. So and I was just really looking forward to doing some puzzling this morning. So I just was like, yeah, I'm going to do competition.
A nice
Just,
good
a good
early
push.
Sunday.
Yeah.
An early Sunday warm up.
Yeah.
Yes. And have you ever? We were discussing about the Google eyes on the food. Have you ever had Google eyes? You ever put Google eyes onto anything ever?
Yeah. I think, wait, I have something right here that sort of googly eyes. Like I have a big basket that has like not really googly eyes. but, like,
Phenomenal.
Can you just move that again, because we got a proper.
so it's
Oh.
like
Amazing.
That looks that looks like a proper Sesame Street character.
yeah. So I do this kind of things and I name everything. So my picnic basket is called Jeff. It's just the way it is.
This is peak entertainment here.
It's phenomenal.
I don't
I
know.
know. I also have some like appliances around house. I'm like, these would look good with googly eyes, but I haven't put them on it yet. But like our vacuum cleaner, it already looks like it has a mouth, so it just needs the eyes. So yeah, I will probably do that at some point. The puzzle is inspiring for that.
It may turn out that I'm the only person who hasn't put googly eyes on things, and
You're missing out.
You need to get in on the game. I have a cacti that we've put googly eyes on and named him Tangela. And so he's just eyeballing everybody whenever you walk in. It's really cool.
I also know people who like bring googly eyes everywhere, and then just when they visit someone, they put googly eyes on their coffee maker or something, and then you don't notice that immediately, and then the next time you're making coffee, you're like, who did this? So it's kind of spreading the googly eye joy in different places.
Inga, just real quick for clarity, somebody in the chat was asking, is it Jeff the basket with a J, or is it Jeff with like a GEOF, or does the basket have a unique spelling beyond our comprehension?
Yeah, it's a JEFF.
Okay, all right, that's right.
I'm glad that people are so invested.
Michelle's just posted that we've already had 24 finishes sub 1 hour 45. That's quite something. I'm really fascinated to see how many we get below the 2 hours, because I've never been below 2 hours on a 1,000-piece puzzle. I think this would be fascinating to see. Yeah, so we're blown away by your time today. 1 hour 10 plus change. That's astonishing, Inga.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about how you attacked this beast.
I started with the edge. I wasn't sure if I was going to do it, but usually I start with edges, and it kind of helps me because I do a lot of pick and place, and I always regret it if I don't start with the edge when it's at least sort of doable. So it's like, I can do the edge first, so I started with that. I sorted the pink donut, but because I sorted it, it didn't stand out anymore in the pile. So I started assembling all these other things first. It happens to me a lot. I sort one very nice thing, and then I just get distracted. So then I heard you guys discussing, oh yeah, everyone's doing the pink donut. I was like, oh yeah, I should do that one at some point because it's all sorted and ready to go. No, I started with I think the raspberries, the green apple, the jelly. I don't know. It's some the pepper shaker, the peas, and then I'm just very chaotic. So I'm just all over the place. I'm like, oh, this is a pea, and then it goes in, and then I'm distracted again by something else. So I'm very chaotic. So that's basically I was doing all the foods with absolute chaos, and then at some point I was like, oh, there's only one with a purple background, and then I had some sort of structure, so I did the purple background, and I was like, oh, the red background, and then it was kind of structured and then messy again. And then there were a lot of blues and greens left at the end, which was kind of
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah, I think a lot of people's tables look like they've got a lot of residual blue and green there. Had you seen this puzzle before? Had you seen any images of it, or were you aware of it at all?
Yeah, just once. So, but that's quite a long time ago. So I wasn't surprised by the image in that way. Like to see it, and it's just fun to puzzle it because it's nice sections and they're all looking happy and smiling at you.
Yeah. And what about the happily brand? Do you liking the happily puzzles? Do they suit your puzzling style?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there are all these collages and all looking happy. I really like that. I have a couple, most of them from EJJs, and I bought like one myself, I think, maybe two. But yeah, I just they're so colorful and fun. Which
have you got hold of any of the little sort of playing card style boxes of the tiny little 100-piece ones? They're pretty good.
Actually, that's Michelle's fault because if you get like the trophy for the EJJs, she usually also put some happily 100-piece puzzles in there. So I actually have quite a few. Oh, and I think we also bought a couple at some point because we had like a good deal. We got like 50% off. So we bought a whole bunch. So I actually have a pretty decent collection, but Michelle always manages to give me ones that I don't have. So that's really nice. But I like those as well because they have, nice gradient usually, or but the pieces are very tiny.
So our question today was about whether anybody had any fun facts and whether trivia facts related to either puzzlers, puzzles, this puzzle, food, or anything in particular. Ideally, something
I can do regular fun facts.
Yep.
So last year, Jim and I got like a calendar that you rip off like one page each day, which had fun facts. So we started each day with like, did you know? And then a random fact. Well, most of them were not super fun. But I think our favorite fact was that in Iceland, people had to choose from like a list of 2,000 names. You have to pick one of those names for your baby. So there's just a list. And if you wanted something else, you had to like ask if they could add that name to the list, which was the most fun fact. But we got the calendar from like a Christmas game with Jim's family. So the year after, we were like, oh, there has to be another calendar because how are we going to live through this year if we don't have one fun fact every day? But there was no calendar, but there was a book with 999 fun facts. So we are solid for the next 3 years.
Yes, nearly 3 years worth.
I want to make a quick call out. There's about 9 and a half minutes, 9 minutes and 30 seconds remaining before the 2 hour line. So if people are listening and they want to hit out of the 2 hour, put on the thrusters right now. just wanted to give that boost.
Yeah, you can do it. Woo.
Well, I feel if you've got 365 plus 999 facts, we've probably got to try and squeeze at least one more out of you.
Oh, but I don't have them. I think there was something about cows mooing with a regional accent. So apparently, depending on where the cows are from, they also have an accent because they kind of imitate like the people who talk around them.
So like a cow from the Americas might say moo, but one from France might say la moo.
Yeah, sure.
And one from like Mexico might say el moo. I'm not sure how that would. I don't understand how a cow accent would work.
No, but it's like just the apparently they like try to make similar sounds to what they're used to hearing. So it's also within a country, apparently they can sound a bit different. They have like accents, just like we can talk English with different accents. So can cows, apparently. Well, you're asking me to bring up the fun facts from my mind that I don't remember. But this book, they have like nice explanations. So it's not just a fact, but then it's also like a whole paragraph of background of random stuff about the fact. So it's
like
actually
the cows.
called like 999 facts that you're almost never going to use. So today it's actually useful.
I will play off of your cow accent fact with a research study that was conducted in the Netherlands, UK, and Canada for finding that the longer a cow has been lying down, the more likely the cow will soon stand up. And secondly, that once a cow stand up, you cannot easily predict how soon that cow will lie down again. And that won a probability prize.
Why did they do a study about that?
That's a great question, but there is a reference for are cows more likely to lie down the longer they stand that came out in 2010 in Applied Animal Behavior Science. So by all means, go check out that information.
Yeah, I have to, otherwise I will not be able to sleep tonight.
I'm trying to come up with explanations for that. I think, and then also another thing that came up was, can you think of any good modifications or things if you were going to be taking a jigsaw puzzle to space? What the what you would want from your jigsaw puzzle if you're going to be solving your puzzle in space?
I don't know. Maybe you would need would the pieces like float away? Would it be hard to, find the pieces because they're just going everywhere?
What I'm
Maybe
hoping
we
is
would need them attached by a little rope or something. But then, probably something that stays together really well. So you have like the peaceful legs or something. They are impossible to take apart. So
yeah, I'm hoping we're going to get into this in a lot more detail over the next 2 hours. So it's worth everyone staying on.
Yeah, there's probably people who have more ideas about puzzling in space than I do.
Well, I am curious, Inga. There is a place that you are going to be puzzling relatively soon, which is in Munich. Are you excited to be taking part of the World Series?
Scared.
You're scared?
Yeah, mainly scared, but I am also excited that I'm, getting to see all the people and. But yeah, mainly scared. So I'm glad I got to win today because that at least helps a little bit with the confidence boost. But I'm just mainly scared.
I can tell you that I've talked with Lou and Mel, and they have confirmed that there will not be booby traps on any of the seats. There's not going to be wild animals running around, so you don't have to be scared of that kind of like.
That's what they say, but I'm not sure. So I'll probably just stand and not sit down just in case.
I can't guarantee that I won't put a whoopee cushion or googly eyes somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm now going to be disappointed if I don't have googly eyes on my table.
I think I don't know if Mari's still listening. We might have to see if see what our emergency googly eye situation is.
Yeah, I think James really needs them.
Yeah, I'm gonna put an extra set right there.
Yeah. Or like on your eyelids, right? So that when you close them, your eyes are still open.
Yeah. Would you have wanted a 1,000-piece solo round in the World Series?
I think that would be cool. But I just really enjoy 1,000-piece puzzles because that's actually what I also grew up with, and I I was already speedrunning 1,000-piece puzzles before I started speedrunning 500-piece puzzles. But I don't know. Yeah, it's also a different skill again. So, but it's kind of what they're doing at World Series. But you cannot just keep doing more rounds. Like at some point, you have so many rounds that it wouldn't make sense anymore. So
Then
I
you
think
start feeling like a lab rat, yeah.
yeah, exactly. So I think the format is pretty decent, and I expect all the puzzles to be very different. So I am excited about that and getting to see the puzzles, and I think I assume they really put a lot of thought into the puzzles. So I'm very excited about that.
Have you been doing focus training for this thing?
A little bit, like I was like, I'm just gonna go, right? But then I'm too competitive, so then it's like I have to buy some Gibsons. And
Any particular rounds you've been doing more practice on than others?
no, yeah, I bought some Gibsons just to at least know what the cuts are like. Just so that you won't get flustered, right? That you get a circular Gibsons, and it's very different from other circular puzzles I've done before. So I was glad that I tried them out.
Yeah, the new
and same with the panorama, just to get a sort of view of how it works. But then I probably should have practiced gradients because I'm very bad at those, but I haven't done that at all. I've just been doing the puzzles that I borrowed from people for whatever reason so that they can go back to their home, and new puzzles because that I enjoy those. So I haven't really done any structured training other than a few Gibsons. I'm just puzzling when I can, but I don't have as much time for puzzling as I would have liked in preparation. So we'll just see how it's going to go.
I think it's super exciting. I'm thoroughly looking forward to seeing everybody. I think it's going to be a hoot.
Yeah, I think so too. I was actually discussing this with someone who's also going, like, normally you have at least the other rounds where you can watch other people and cheer, and now you're puzzling all the time. So it's a bit harder to do the cheering for other people, but it will probably still be nice.
It means you have to puzzle fast enough that you can cheer everybody else on.
I know. I'm obviously gonna try, but
I like that at the back of the room we're all having our fixed table, so I think there's going to be little communities of of people going through it together.
And I think we'll watch the live streams back or something because it's always really nice. Especially for these kind of competitions. It's such fun to watch.
Yeah. And the table allocations are out, I saw. I rather wonderfully am sharing a table with Dietmar from Germany, who is the most terrific fella who I had the joy of sharing a table with at Worlds 2 years ago. And by chance, we're back on the same table. So I'm so pleased with that. That's going to be great.
That's nice.
Anyway, good. Right. So you're going to stay and listen to some more space chatting.
Sure.
Well, we'll let you go celebrate, and you can listen to all the space talk from the stream. Do you have any shout outs you want to give to folks before you go on to your next adventure?
No, just good luck to all the people who are still puzzling, and have fun for everyone going to Munich, or not going to Munich but watching, or people who are like, I'm glad I'm not going to Munich. They're also you should celebrate that.
Yeah.
Are you taking Jeff out for a picnic now?
Yeah, I think so. It would be a good idea. Nice weather.
Nice weather. Go on. Got to be done.
Jeff and I are going to go.
All righty. Well, cheers, Inga, and good luck this coming weekend. And congrats on today, because that was amazing.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Well, in the time that we're talking with Inga, we had several more finishers. We have 41 finishers so far in this 1,000-piece solo competition. I believe we crossed the 2-hour mark just a moment ago. And yeah, I think all 41 of them so far have been under the 2-hour line. I think somebody was just over Vanya. But this is spectacular puzzling, and we have 83 competitors in here right now.
So does that mean we've cleared? How many do we think we finished under 2 hours, Jim? I can see 38 left on the call, I think. Is that right? So we possibly have had half of our field finish in under 2 hours. That's amazing.
I'm double checking the final the final slot here. I'm looking at where the 2 hour line was. Who was our closest without going over? I think number 39. Yeah, there we go. Number 39 was Yana K at 1 hour 57:29, and just over and just barely over Freya at position number 40 had a time of 2 hours 28 seconds, so just slightly over, which is absolutely amazing. The fact that we had 39 people all under the 2 hour line, and so many people that are so close to the line as well. And I know that a lot of folks, the goal is to get it done within the 3 hour mark. And we can see several people coming into the end of their puzzles right now, like Stephanie W. We just saw Franzi finish. On the screen, you can see in the lower left, Lynn. In the lower middle, Catherine L. doing a great job. Nina T. in the lower middle now doing a great job. Anna L. in the lower right, closing out those greens. And I think that's Aaron in the upper middle, trying to cruise through the last little bit of this puzzle. I think he has the full border built out, so it's just fill in of where that parsnip is.
Yeah. I was just looking at Aaron's mascots on his table there. It's the little dog that was given out to everybody at Nationals last week, and sitting on it is the dragon from Cardiff a couple of months ago.
Okay.
So we've got a lot of UK JPA.
Yeah, a lot of the UK JPA folks.
Mascot-based activity. And he's, apart from the fact he's just dropped the left-hand corner of his puzzle on the floor, I think he's doing great.
He's doing a great job. I know Aaron. I think Aaron's might be listening to us right now. You can see he's giggling a little bit. Fun thing after UK Nationals. He was racing people on hundreds, and I had a good time stressing him out. It was very similar to the puzzle chickenage. So Aaron's a fantastic puzzler. You can see that he's making big swipe moves to try to get access to those pieces, and also make it where there's less transfer. It looks like there's a really good sort between what's the parsnip background and what's the egg background. So he's doing a great job. He's going to be able to keep this under the 230 no problem. He might be able to keep it under 215 if he really pushes it. He's doing solid.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to bring onto the mic if they're still here. I think Yada, our second place finisher in this competition, Yada Kontinen, and you can please correct me on the pronunciation. But are you still around?
Hello, I'm here.
Hello there, and please tell me how to pronounce your name, because I'm so sorry for butchering it.
Yeah, it's Yatta.
Yatta. Okay.
Yes.
A million apologies, but I
That's
don't
fine.
apologize for how well you did today, because that was fantastic puzzling.
Yeah, I'm
was it
surprised.
16? You're surprised?
Yes.
Why is that?
This was my first time doing 1,000 pieces puzzles as a speeding. Like, I've been just laser puzzling 1,000 pieces, so I didn't expect anything. I was thinking maybe 2 hours would be good, and I was prepared to do 2 hours. So very surprised.
I mean, 2 hours is very, very good.
Yeah.
What sort of things did you do to switch it into fast mode from like a normal relaxed kind of puzzling?
I don't know. I just thought of it as the 500 pieces, so just went for it quite the same way. But it was really nice puzzle, and it was like good for speeding. So it was quite easy to pick up some pieces, what to do next. And I didn't have any time to like think about what to do next. So I was like going and going and going. So I had a good flow.
I absolutely love that. Think about it as being a 500-piece puzzle. The visualization, I think that's that's wonderful. Yes, yeah. And did you have a sort of strategy as you were going into it about how you were going to go about solving the puzzle? What was your initial thoughts when you first dip the pieces out, and did that change?
Well, yeah, I just flipped them and took the edges out, but I thought I didn't want to do the edges first. I thought it was going to be too slow, maybe. I don't know. But then I just started picking up pieces. It was the red that stood out, and also the donut. I think the donut was the first one I did. And yeah, I just went from that. I started picking up all the vegetables and the food pieces, and yeah.
Do you have a favorite vegetable?
I was thinking about it. I thought you were gonna ask that, but I don't know. I like them all because they're all so cute. The faces and the googly eyes and everything. So I don't know.
Is there anything on the puzzle that you really don't like?
No, not really. I liked it all. Yeah, I thought it was really nice. I hadn't seen the picture before, but some of the food items were familiar because I have this small, happily, the 99 piece puzzle. So they have some of the same pictures in it. So
happily are getting good value out of this photo shoot, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think there's 2 different 1,000-piece puzzles and a 100-piece.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done this particular 1,000 before or seen it before, or no? Pure blind. That's wonderful. I do want to do a quick call out. Aaron's coming down to the last 10 pieces or so. There's no ambiguity. He's going to be able to sink the last ones in. Can he keep this under the 210 line? We're coming up at 208.50 right now. He has 5 pieces to get the last ones in. Come on, you can do it. Get those last. Just rotate it. There it is. Sink it in.
And
those last ones are always difficult. It's like a USB. It's like a USB connection. You have to rotate it 3 times in the same spot. There it is. Just over 209.
I have to say one of the best jokes on the chat so far from some of the Puzzle Guzzle crew about Aaron, who's fairly famous for having heavy hands, what they call mashing hands with the puzzle pieces, is him finishing the parsnip. They've put mashed parsnip from Aaron, which I think. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how you tried to attack this, because there's so many different ways you can go about it. You can go inside to outside. We saw that you were doing the entire border at the very end. Did you know early on you were going to save the border for last, or like when did that decision come around?
Yeah, I think so. I think I thought about it like that I'm not gonna do it until the very last, and I just started to look for the faces and doing all the vegetables and all the foods, and then making my way to the background colors. And the red ones were the first ones I did, and then I think it was the red, yellow, then blues or greens first. I'm not sure, but blues and greens, they were quite the same, so it was really hard to like take them apart of each other. But yeah.
How do you, when you got to that point where there's so much similarity, how did you keep progressing at that point? Did you try to do a sort? Were you just able to discern like some of the darker textures versus the others?
Yeah, I didn't really sort, but I just picked the pieces that I wanted to put in next. So sort of try to like different the colors. So I don't know how to explain it, but I just kept going, and it just turned out good. So
Jutta, we were talking about Google Eyes and whether people have ever put Google Eyes on anything, or whether you have any experience with Google Eyes. Are you in that group?
No, unfortunately, not really. They are really fun, and I've seen a lot of videos like in social media that people do those. So I'm familiar with the concept, but I haven't done it myself. But maybe I should, because those are really nice.
Oh, you're with me in the haven't ever placed Google Eyes group. Yes. Okay. We'll start this special group.
I've seen some videos that people are going like into their fridges, and somebody has put the googly eyes inside the fridge, all the items, and it's kind of funny. So it would be fun to do that kind of stuff somewhere in the near future.
I'm sure if we ask the question, someone will give it in chat. Is what the biggest set of googly eyes has ever been?
I I know I've seen some on bulldozers or like the claw the claw earth mover kind of things where it makes it look like a dinosaur chewing on rocks. I've seen those ones, and those are probably about 1.5 feet in diameter.
Yeah.
Um,
I can hear Google being consulted as we speak.
yeah, that might be the biggest of the Google eyes in terms of googly eyes,
Yeah.
which is just phenomenal. Tell us a little bit about when you got into puzzling.
Well, I've been puzzling all my life, but just like as a relaxing puzzling, so from very like young age. And I did it like all throughout my life. And then like maybe a year ago, a little bit over a year ago, my sister got me into the speed puzzling. And at first I was like, maybe I don't like that much to do it speedy. I just want to be relaxed. But then when I got to doing it, it was quite fun. So I've been doing it for about a little bit over a year.
Have you done some in-person competitions, Jetta?
Yes, we had nationals last week in Finland, last weekend.
I saw some of the puzzles. There was a very lovely one of an owl.
Yeah.
I thought that. Did you have that puzzle? Was that?
Yes, it was in the finals.
Oh, I thought that was just delightful puzzle. I really like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice, and it's good that we had unreleased puzzle in the finals. So that's really nice. We liked it, and it was fine until you hit the sky, the yellow sky. It was really hard to do. I did the shape sorting because I couldn't like just figure it out, but I ended up at 5th place, so it was okay.
Congratulations! That's a terrific. Because there's, I mean, it's such a strong field. The puzzlers from Finland. Gosh, it's such a high standard. Yes. I think coming 5th is terrific.
Yeah, I was quite surprised actually.
Nice puzzles this year, though. I remember looking last year. I thought they were some of the ones last year I thought were quite challenging.
Yeah.
But I thought the puzzles this year looked just lovely.
Yes, we liked them. The pairs puzzle in the finals, that was really fast puzzle. I think they had it in Germany's nationals or somewhere. I'm not sure where, but it was really nice puzzle in the pairs final. And then the teams puzzle, that was nice, very, very beautiful, but very hard.
Yeah. What is it? What's it like puzzling in person competition versus an online one? Because I know you've done a great job in a lot of the online competitions. I think this was like your first big in-person competition, right? For the Finland.
Yeah. We went to Nordics last year also.
Okay.
That's quite a big competition also. But yeah, this was one of the main goals that we aimed to. So it was I was very nervous. So it's more nerve-wracking to do in-person competitions. So in these online competitions, I'm not so nervous because you're just puzzling at the comfort of your own home. So.
Yeah.
And do you compete with your sister?
Yes.
Were you in pairs together?
Yes.
How did that go?
Well, we end up at 5th place. So.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So
it was all right too.
So that's 5th in solos as well, you said, or yeah. Gosh, so and did you do teams then? I'm just interested to see whether you came 5th in teams.
I did teams, and there we were 3rd. So
that almost feels a little disappointing that you didn't wrap up the full clean sweep of the 5ths.
Yeah, I know.
Oh man!
But anyway, that's excellent. Well done. Gosh.
Thank you.
Well, it's got to feel so cool to like keep moving up the ranks and keep getting faster. Like I'm just looking at some of your past history, and sorry I missed the Nordics. I didn't scroll down far enough.
It's all right.
No, but like you're consistently in that like upper chunk, and then you've really started to like break out into like the top 10s, and today a fantastic time on 1,000.
Yeah.
What have you been doing to like make your speed get so much more efficient?
I don't know actually. I just been puzzling more because I just started like a year ago, so I've been speed puzzling quite a like short period of time still. And actually, like I checked my speed puzzling like a year ago, January. I did the same puzzle that I had in the I don't know how to call it, like in the nationals before the finals, the
preliminaries. Yeah.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
So I had the same puzzle that I did like 1.5 years ago, and I did it like 20 minutes faster this time. So it was quite a big gap, and I was
Yeah, it's a bump.
so I think those were the first times I did speed puzzling back then. So yeah, I've been getting like faster, and I don't know, I just been puzzling. Nothing like not a secret into it. So just puzzling.
Well, I mean, doing a lot of puzzling is part of the secret, right? Just like keeping the fingers going and learning more as you go. That's really, really impressive. What sort of puzzles do you tend to gravitate towards? Like, do you like the collage-y kind of puzzles like the one you did today? Are you more into like landscapes?
Yeah, more into these types of that I did today, and also like the busy puzzles. I like busy puzzles. Not so much of the landscapes, but yeah, they're all right. But definitely more of a busy puzzle, or these kind of puzzle collages that we did today.
Certainly look like this suited you today.
Yeah.
So our theme today has been fun facts. So we're just we're seeing if we can lure anybody to give us any fun facts, interesting bits of trivia. It could be about anything you like. The foods we had on the puzzle, or puzzlers, your country. Any thoughts of a fun fact you could give us?
Yeah, I was I tried to think about something because I didn't have time to plan that before the competition. I was in a little bit of a rush this morning, so unfortunately I don't have any fun facts for you.
Oh, okay. Never mind. If you think of one as we come towards the end of the interview, you're welcome to drop it in. So
you're also allowed to have an unfun fact. Those are also a good time. I will say that SJ has followed up for us. Thank you. On the largest pair of googly eyes. Largest pair of googly eyes ever created, measured 363.3 centimeters or 12 feet in diameter, achieved by Austin McCord, Ryan Saslow, and Ed Lundblad in Norwalk, Connecticut, back in 2019.
So I suppose the follow-up question to that is, what were they put on, and was it something moving? Because
I would imagine a shoe, because it's a foot-size diameter. So just
a giant boot.
Yeah. I wonder what they were trying to keep an eye on. Big giant box of Jello. That would have been pretty impressive. What would you put the world's largest googly eyes on?
Oh, it's got to be something that moves. Maybe one of those. You could put it on. I'm thinking one of those bridges that lifts, and then you can make them like eyebrows, and then you'd have the eyebrows and the googly eyes.
Yes,
I like that idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That'd be really good. I'm trying to think. Like putting it on a big clock tower would be fun.
I'm now trying to think of what an unfun fact might be. Having raised it, it's got to be something really tedious. Yeah.
No, unfun facts would be something like molecule chirality being really, really good one way and extremely dangerous the other way. And if scientists don't know the difference, then it causes all sorts of issues, right? But
what's one person's unfun fact is the other person's fun fact, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, so we don't have any information of what they put these googly eyes on.
We're getting a note in the chat. Maybe Jata can tell us a really long name in Finnish.
A really long name. Like a first name?
I guess when Michelle visited Helsinki, she was impressed by how many long names were on the sides of buildings.
I don't know. I'm not sure what she's talking about. Maybe just like the Finnish name of a library, or I don't know, something like that.
Good
But,
chance, yeah. Like
yeah,
what?
but-
Like what's the Finnish library?
well, that's the biggest and the most famous in Helsinki is Oodi, so that's really short. Four letters. This is not a good example, but and I'm trying to think. Well, just to say, the Helsinki is the main railway station. If you just translate that in Finnish, it's Helsingin päärautatieasema. So I guess that's kind of a long word in Finnish, but I don't know. It's not a specific name though, but
What do you think is the shortest word in Finnish?
what's up something word? It's just like 2 letters to say and, ja. So
And Jetta, are you considering any trips to outside of Finland for puzzling?
yeah, we're doing the Nordics again in the end of May, and that will be in Denmark, near
Right.
Copenhagen.
And any other ones at all, or any further afield?
Well, we did this. We went to Germany a couple months ago in the Foodies competition.
Mm.
I don't remember. It was the Puzzle Blitz or something. I'm not sure about the name, but it was really nice. A little bit smaller competition, but it was really nice. We enjoyed it. And then we were thinking about the European championships and maybe the Worlds, but those will be like in September or November. So we're still thinking about those. But
Yeah, I think that's the issue we now have, is there's so many competitions that people are having to work out how, when there was only 1 or 2 competitions, it was pretty straightforward. You were going or not going. And now we need to juggle what you can and what you can't go to. And if you've got some limits on the time you can give. Yeah,
that's why we decided to skip the next week's competition, even though it sounds really fun. But we like to travel with my sister and we like to do pair competitions. So because that's only individuals, we decided to skip that one now.
Mm-hmm.
When you and your sister pair, do one of you kind of take the lead, or do you do like a mind meld and you both kind of know what the other person's working on the whole time?
Yeah, maybe like that. We talk some and we discuss like during the puzzle what the other one is doing and stuff, but we don't have a clear like what she's gonna do and what I'm gonna do all the time. We change kind of like the position. Sometimes she does the edges and sometimes I do the edges, and it just kind of goes.
It's really cool, and I'm so excited for how well you've done and how much you keep improving. If you've only been doing this for a year, I am terrified for what's going to happen to the rest of the field before too long.
Well, I hope my like improving is not like on its limit yet, so I hope I'm just going further.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to keep you from going to celebrate. Is there any shout outs you want to give to people in the puzzling community? Anything you want to say to the world before we let you go?
I don't know. Just shout out to my fan club that is like watching this interview. I think they are in the chat, maybe putting on comments. I have some friends that have formed this kind of fan club, so they are always watching my competition.
So Neurolov has just put a word beginning with lentokon, a very long word.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And they've asked that you should pronounce it for us.
Yeah, I can try. Lentokone, suihkuturbiini, apumekaanikko, aliupseerioppilas. That's the one word in Finnish. Yeah.
Gesundheit.
What is it?
It's kind of like this, something to do with airplanes, and it's kind of like a person that repairs some the turbines on them airplanes, something along that line.
Fantastic. That's great.
Yeah, but thank you for the interview. It was really fun.
Yeah, thank you for coming and joining us. It's been great. Nice to meet you, Jetta.
Nice to meet you too.
Congrats. Jetta did a fantastic job today. with a time of about an hour 16. It's just absolutely phenomenal puzzling from somebody who's making a big splash into this sport. Very, very well done.
Hmm.
Oh well. And while we were talking to her, several more people have finished. We now have 59 finishers confirmed at the 2-hour 27-minute line. We are keeping an eye on the clock. Folks that are still puzzling, you're going to have about a half hour left. I'm double checking the time.
1 hour.
Sorry. Sorry. You have 1 hour remaining. Thank you very much, Michelle. Michelle corrected me very rightly so, as I lose a few brain cells from time to time.
Jim, you need to do your 2.5 hours in lunges. I've just done mine.
Oh yeah, I got to get the stretches in, right? Do the big.
It's official. The commentary team have to do their 2.5 hour in lunges.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited that we get to do that, even though the puzzlers have to be pretty glued to the image.
Yeah.
That said, if you've been going for 2.5 hours at this point, it's totally okay to take a few seconds, stretch it out, blink a few times, look at something far away, so that way your eyes dilate, change back out, release the strain in there, and then attack the puzzle with newfound vigor as we come in on the last chunk of this competition.
I'm trying to remember who it was who had the Pepsi and the slice of what looked like carrot cake, and I'm interested to see whether there's any carrot cake left.
Oh wow.
I can't think who it was. It was.
I could go for some carrot cake, but right now we can't see on screen that Eileen W in the upper left-hand corner has maybe about 40 pieces remaining. Svetlana is down to just those yellows fill in, and is sort of doing the inverse of other folks where they did the blues or the borders, did the blue and the border, and now just has that yellow to clean out. It's all going to be shape work at that point. Lydia G in the upper right is doing a fantastic job, has a lot of those blues knocked out, and so now it's going to be a border game. Lower left, Fleur is down to doing a lot of those greens. You can see that Fleur has decided to put those pieces underneath of the build field, close to themselves, so that way they can reach up and put them where they're going to live. Evilly in the lower middle has gone for putting a lot of those pieces onto puzzle boards and is covering up parts of the puzzle with the boards that are already completed. So that way it's real straightforward to deliver them where they're going to live. I think Evilly's down to maybe about the last 40 pieces or so. And Pikachu is keeping an eye on things. And over on the right, it's Sonia coming into the last little bits of blues and greens. But look at Eileen closing this out, doing that typewriter method around the outside, trying to wrap this up under the 2 hour and 33 minute line. We just crossed 2 hours and 30, which is amazing time. Svetlana is on to the last piece. I think Svetlana has a missing piece there that we'll double check on. But this is some great puzzling by everybody. I know we've been pushing really, really hard. And we are cruising away here. In the chat, Guzza Gaming is reminding everybody to clear the room. I agree wholeheartedly. Please clear the room for my sake. I would like to have a little bit of bragging rights on Mari, and I'm sure James would as well.
Yeah. As I said before, I think it won't be skill. It'll be exhaustion that will get people. So I don't know whether we can get Karen up on the screen. That would be good, because we can get an update on the carrot cake.
On the carrot cake situation. We're gonna have to have carrot cake watch. Oh well. Well, speaking of Mari, I think she's around to have a quick chat. If you're there, I'm going to do the seance thing. Mari, would you can you hear us? Are you with us?
Hello.
Hello there. How's it going, Mari?
I'm good. How are you guys? Long time no chat, gentlemen.
Indeed. Well, congratulations on some fantastic puzzling today.
Oh, that was a fun thing to get to. It's my first EJJ 1000 piece because I made myself a promise that when I'm home in Boston, no more 4 a.m. EJJs. I did a couple of them, and you get jet lagged for like 3 days. So the thousands are always at what ends up being 4 a.m. for me. So I never get to do them. And here was my big chance, and I was so excited. It was not my day, not my 1000, not the way I usually like to puzzle, but what a cute puzzle. Oh my gosh, it's so silly.
It sounds like it's right up your street in the we've had a lot of googly-eyed based discussions already.
Oh, yes, I'm a googly eye artiste. All my friends and colleagues know to watch out. I have found my colleagues' cars at the airport while they're away on tour and covered them in googly eyes. I have done many things that are for evil and not for good using googly eyes. So I highly recommend it to anyone listening.
Do you have any on your person at the moment?
Not on my person, as in not stuck to me, but I cannot confirm or deny the contents of my bag.
Yeah.
I may or may not have mentioned the emergency googly eye.
I don't think we have the emergency kit with us, as nothing I plan to do is classified as an emergency. It's all premeditated. So
that's somehow worse.
We think people are going to struggle to compete with Inga, who had a googly-eyed picnic basket called Jeff.
I was listening about that.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I love that she has a picnic basket called Jeff. If you're going to name a picnic basket something, that is absolutely what to name it. So.
Yeah. So we'd like some fun facts, please, Mari.
Oh no. Being around Jim, I never have to know facts anymore because he's the facts machine. So my job is to make up things that are factual but also kind of silly. I think I put in the form a true fact is that there is at least one Island cow in all the world who knows as much about puzzling as me. And he's right here. But that was what I had for a fact.
Was it a strong performance from Koo today? Oh, we've had Mari's frozen for a minute.
might be a little chilly with the sweatshirt.
On screen at the moment, we can see that we have got Karen, and we can see that she has adequately refreshed herself and recharged the batteries, and not left us any carrot cake, which is slightly disappointing, but entirely understandable.
I mean, is it understandable? I feel slightly jolted. Oh, there's Mari's back.
I think we're stressing Michelle's internet system. I am the thing that goes bump in the basement today.
Just wondering how many different sites are related to puzzle broadcasting in the House of Casper today.
Yes, it's a great puzzle day, and it's so fun to get to spend the week with the queen of the EJJ and rate her puzzle collection and have her take us all around, and it's really fun.
Oh, now look, we've got a whole new area of topic conversation that's opened up from Michelle on the chat, which is whether milk and cereal are classified as soup.
Yes, we were discussing this the other day. We brought it to Michelle's dinner table, and now it's the EJJ. When my band is on tour in the band car, we pass time, often many hours, by asking questions like this: is cereal a soup? The answer is no. I can provide all the documentation if anybody likes, because there was about 3 hours of Googling and arguing among my band. The answer is definitively no. We did not arrive at a definitive answer if is a hot dog a sandwich or is a taco a hot dog. So that's still up for debate.
There's a strong discussion in the UK about what is a pie.
Yeah.
Is a fish pie a pie? Is a pasty a pie? Is a stew in a dish with a pastry lid a pie?
I mean, I would lean towards the possibly the Groucho Marx or the Three Stooges version of it, which is if you can mush it into somebody's face and it not hurt them significantly, it's probably a pie.
So a couch pillow is a pie?
Under that definition, yeah, sure.
Uh-oh, things just got interesting.
Yeah.
I would disagree. I think it could be, as long as it was fully encased in pastry.
But then what do you do about the lattice top pies? Like those are not fully encased.
That's not a pie.
Oh, wow. Half of the US and their apple pies would beg to differ.
That isn't going to bother me, to be fair.
That's true.
Yes.
I will say that Aaron in the chat is saying that's because all food is either a soup, salad, or a sandwich.
So,
and I think that's probably the hottest of the takes.
Oh, that's good thing. I have a long drive with my band coming up very soon. We will discuss this thoroughly with much Googling and referencing and legalese.
I want to give a quick shout out to Flora just finishing that puzzle there. I think just over the 2:37-minute line. Congratulations.
Yay! This puzzle, it runs fast, but anyone watching, be not confused or tricked. It's much trickier than it looks. At least it was for me. The fit is maybe folks over on this side of the pond know it better. I've only done a couple of Happies, and this is very different from the couple that I've gotten in the US. Notably that there are a lot of false fits on a lot of solid backgrounds that look all the same. So like when I was doing it, I was having to try each piece in each place like 5, 6, 7 times. And if you're playing along at home, that's about 4, 5, or 6 too many times. At speed, you want to be dropping pieces in with one go, and to try it that many times, it really increases the time and it increases the intensity and the tax on your brain. And the other thing about false fits is like the fact that one piece was misfitted is not such a big deal. The real damage with false fits is that you stop trusting when you put a piece in. So it really, if you're used to working with shape, it eats into your confidence very quickly, which means that you need a lot of mental reserves to keep pushing and keep believing that when you put something in, it's correct. So anybody puzzling this puzzle today, still going, finished, or otherwise, you're doing great and keep fighting for it. This is not easy. Just because it's fast does not make it easy.
Mari, I was interested in just getting you to talk to us a little bit about your week, really, because I know you've been moving around and changing venue, which is something obviously you're fairly used to. But I wonder whether you had a moment to just sort of reflect on last Sunday and your amazing performance, and what the week's held for you, really. Whether there's been any sort of fallout from your performance, where you were at UK Nationals last Sunday and posted the fastest time in the solo finals.
It's been an amazing trip, an amazing couple of weeks. We had so much fun. We had our week in the UK and all our days with you guys at the UK JPA Nationals, and it was just such a treat. One of the most fun events I've ever been to, and yeah, that final was something else. It was. I feel like every time I do a live event, especially, I learn a lot about not just speed puzzling, but about myself, and like noticing things that I do that maybe it's like, oh, I could do different, and figured that out. So that was the puzzleware piece of art, and I nearly gave up and kind of like let myself slow down and take a foot off the gas a whole bunch. And so it was really great to practice in person not doing that and staying in it and believing that I can get through the puzzle. And so that was really amazing. So I've been reflecting a lot on that and how it's like, oh yeah, I should do that more. And then this week has been wonderful hanging out with Michelle in Germany, and we went up to Luxembourg and had lots and lots of adventures, and it's been great. What a trip. I feel so lucky.
What a trip, eh? Did you look back over any of the footage from the final?
I did. And it was actually amazing to me because I can remember some rounds when you're competing, you kind of black out and you finish and you're like, what happened? And then sometimes it's like every thought and every move imprints on your brain. So that final was one where I remember everything really, really, really clearly. I remember what thoughts were, wandering through my head at any given moment. It was amazing to watch the footage back because I remember very, very clearly thinking, okay, well, this is gone. I probably can't even make top 10 at this pace. It's too slow. I guess I'll keep going. I'll practice for Munich where every second counts. But we got down to that dark section at the bottom where nearly everybody finished. And I remember having not heard a cheer yet. And I got to that bottom. I'm like, wait a minute. In slow motion, right? My brain was, wait a minute. This is murky shape work. This is what I do. This is what I have a feel for naturally. And if nobody else has finished yet, this is my section. And by God, I'm going to go like crazy and see if I can pull this out. And watching the footage back, you can see the moment, like the camera happened to be on me. I had no idea at the time, but you can see the moment where that thought went through my head. And it was like one piece. And all of a sudden it was like, it was so fun to like see my inner voice come out on the outside, if that makes sense.
I think I might have spotted that because I have been back and watched the footage again. And it is fascinating to watch you. What and your focus and you're looking down and you've got a little bit of rhythm going and your intent and your purpose. I could really see that.
Yeah, I really see it, which was that I think that's a part of the big lesson for me is that like belief is such a huge thing, and like it's not just on the inside, it's on the outside too, because the second I suddenly believed I could do it, there it was. But you look at the split screen with Rachel and I, it was piece for piece for piece for piece. And I just had the moment where it's like, I decided it was mine. If that makes sense. And that's such a weird thing to do because it's unbelievably arrogant in a sport like this because you can't make that decision confidently. You don't know what's going on at any other table and you can't control anything else that anybody else is doing. But the decision still has an effect. Like even if you're wrong, it has a tremendous effect.
Well, I've not taken a lot of notes this morning, but I have scribbled down murky shape work, and I'm trying to work out how to possibly, whether that's your new nickname or you need a T-shirt with that on or something. I think I like murky shape work a lot. It sounds like an indie rock band.
It does. Shape work is such an interesting thing because it behaves differently depending on what that part of the image is. So like today we have like a shape work that is pure shape work mostly where it's in one color. So there's nothing on the image, maybe little hints of shade and shadow and a little bit of border. But when it's literally just the shape you're looking at. And then sometimes you get shape work plus some help from the image. But then sometimes you get shape work like we've all seen or maybe done the challenge puzzles of like, here are 5,000 zebras and mostly their butts. Good luck. And those are really, really tough to shape work because the picture, the lines of the zebra are so noisy that they almost just your ability to see the outline of the piece. So that's where shape work becomes weak. In the middle is exactly like the bottom of the UK final, that Kevin Walsh, where there's the dark brown road, and there are all these lines of yellow and gray and things like that that make the piece noisy. So it's hard to do shape work, but something that I do really well is when you have kind of like a middle noisy image like that, I'm really good at suppressing the image and seeing the shape. Where other people might have, the zebra butt effect. With that many lines, I was able to suppress it and just go to pure shape. So that's
interesting because then the zebra pieces are actually doing the job that the zebra stripes are really designed to do in real life.
I know, right? Yeah. So shape work isn't just one thing. There are many different ways that it presents. But when image is murky but noisy, so there's not information in the image, but it looks like there is. I'm very good at that particular breed. That's my favorite kind of shape work.
Yeah, that's interesting. There's definitely was a group of puzzlers, I think, who are like at the opposite end of the spectrum, who I think really struggled with that puzzle. And I wonder if we're beginning to see sort of specific types of puzzlers now who've got strong areas. You know, you could almost like put the puzzle out at the beginning of the session and go, that strongly suits this person. That's gonna really knock this person.
Yeah, no, certainly. I think that's pretty easy to do. Like we as the sport gets more and more advanced and all the puzzlers get better and better, we see our strengths because it matters so much. Back when there was, big gaps between finishes, minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you didn't really see specialty. But when places are decided in a matter of seconds, which is the normal now, you really do see specialties arise. But I don't think you can use specialties to predict results, right? Just because the puzzle suits you doesn't mean you're guaranteed to come out top, and just because it's a puzzle that's something that you're not as naturally strong with doesn't mean you can't carry it.
I know that when we met during Worlds last year, and you'd just come out of doing the kawaii puzzle, and you said that doesn't suit you at all. Because I wasn't sure that would be your sort of puzzle. And you said, "Oh no, that's just like the opposite of my sort of puzzle." And then I was talking to a couple of puzzlers who'd done quite well at Cardiff in our previous in-person competition, who I know had got I think they've got the kawaii puzzle as one of their fastest puzzles, and they really did. They felt they'd all underperformed at the cars in the final last week, and I almost thought the kawaii puzzle felt to me like it's one of those, is that your puzzle, is that not your puzzle questions for whether they were going to do well at the our final puzzle. Yeah.
The kawaii is definitely very specialized. Because the other thing is, like, many puzzles have multiple lines of attack that you can go for, that you can do it by shape, you can do it by color, you can do it by image. And I think the best competition puzzles are ones that not only have multiple lines of attack, but demand them, that to show the strength of the puzzler overall, you want to see them be able to use various strategies, various tactics, various ways of looking at the pieces, rather than just leaning on what they do well or getting stuck with what they don't do well. I think of the 3 semifinals at Worlds, kawaii was the most specific. Well, I don't know. Paris was pretty specific too. In those flat lines, there was not a lot you could do other than pure shape work. And you better hope you're good at diagonal lines if you're not good at shape work, right? So, yeah, it was an interesting puzzle. But again, it was one of those that, like, when it came out of the box, intellectually, I know that I'm not great at those super pick and place puzzles. I've worked hard on them and I will continue to work hard on them. But in the minutes that I was doing that puzzle, I didn't think about that at all, right? We always talk about whatever puzzle comes out of the box, that is your favorite puzzle for the next, whatever it's going to be. And then we say a time that we'd really love to do for the next 32 minutes, whatever it is. And then after, you can have opinions. But the sport is not about whether you like the puzzle or not.
No, it's you against the puzzle.
And you against the clock, right? You have to make friends with the puzzle in order to beat the clock. If you're fighting with the puzzle, the clock's going to clobber you.
Yeah,
right?
that's a good view. Oh well, congratulations on your outstanding murky shape work. And look forward to seeing you in person next weekend.
Yeah, it's a treat. I'm getting the triple James weekends here.
3 weekends in a row.
All right. Well, everybody puzzling, go crazy, go fast, go and stay believing.
Thanks, Mallory.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
I adore that person so much. Oh man.
That's good.
We just crossed, we're coming up on the 2 hour and 51 minute line, which means that there's going to be about 49 minutes remaining as of this moment. We have 65 finishers out of the 83 participants, and I can see a lot of folks are making excellent progress here. Alina S is coming in on the last handful of pieces or so. I can't quite see the bottom part of their puzzle, but they're doing a great job. So many of these puzzlers are right on are going to be able to close this out. And this is not straightforward to do. It looks like Kaija is again doing this on hard mode in terms of doing it on the floor where some of the pieces are a little difficult to reach, but she's making great progress. You can see that Kaija has decided to pull out a lot of those red pieces, and it looks like they put the salt and pepper chunks together. I think they're doing a lot of inside of the cell building before getting to the outsides, which is really great. Bjorg is down to the blues and blue greens remaining. A lot of that edge has already sorted itself out, but there's some of that egg that's remaining over on the left-hand side. Or sorry, over on the right-hand side of their puzzle, the left-hand side for how we're looking at it. And I believe Karen P, we do see a complete bottle of drink there. I can't tell if that's a note saying apologies for not leaving us any carrot cake, but I hope that they left room for the rest of that puzzle because they are going to have to chew through those blues and greens in order to wrap it up. And James, I have a fun art fact for you here. If I can pull this up real quick. The Ig Nobel's Prize in Art about 10 years ago went to Michael Sardano and Paolo Livrier for measuring the relative pain people suffer while looking at an ugly painting rather than a pretty painting while being shot in the hand by a powerful laser beam.
Right, so that's an interesting one. There's lots of stuff in there, isn't there?
There's a lot going on in there.
Yeah. The painting bit is sort of nice at the beginning and draws you in, and then the final bit is whilst being shot in the hand by a laser beam.
Right, makes a hard right turn. And the official
the subjectivity of pain, isn't it? That's fascinating. I think been a lot of work on pain with things like hot and cold and all of that sort of stuff. And
well, and I know a researcher did a whole study on making a pain scale for being stung by bees, and so he stung himself thousands of times in different places to find out not only what is the most painful place to get stung, but also which bees and which kinds of hornets have the worst painful kind of sting, regardless of location.
Yeah, that's not entirely normal, I would say.
Probably not. I think Alina just finished. Congratulations, Alina. Bjorg is coming in on the last 40 pieces or so. I think Dora. Oh, great. Dora's doing an excellent job. Jasmine is closing out a lot of those blues, has some border remaining to finish up. But everybody keep pushing, as Mari was saying. You have to believe. You have to keep knowing that you can get it done. We have lots of time left. Keep on pushing. I do want to bring up our next person to chat with. Kat, are you around, or can you hear us? I know sometimes on these meets it's sort of like doing a seance. Are you with us? Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello there.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for popping on. Congratulations on a great time. 2:12:56, I believe.
Yeah. That's it felt really good because yesterday I practiced the Gibson's panorama and I had a really bad time, like almost close to 2 hours. So the fact that I could finish this in 2:12 was so good. And it's so cute. I was really happy when I opened it.
So which panorama were you doing?
The Christmas, it's like a Christmas scene, like a Christmas tree in the middle with the skaters and I forget the name. Yeah.
And this is presumably in preparation for Munich next weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
The good thing is none of our times will be recorded as anything slower than 1:45, I think.
Yeah.
I was working out that's actually still for some of the puzzles was probably going to be quite a good time.
Yeah.
Or, well, the panorama's a bit longer, isn't it? Because 90 minutes plus the 5 times 636. Or that's they're quite tough, aren't they? Did you? I mean, I found that the extra 136 pieces take a lot more grind than you would think they're going to do.
The endurance, the stamina, it's just like so So different. So
It feels much closer to doing a 1,000-piece puzzle than it does just do a 500-piece puzzle, despite the fact, number-wise, it's nearer. Yeah. Yes. Is that? Have you got a number of those to practice on, or have you just got the one?
just have the one.
Yeah.
I have 3 circle Gibsons to practice. I've done 2 of them.
Yeah.
And oh, my cat wants to say hi.
That's perfect.
Hello-
We need
hello,
to
cat.
find your cat's name, please.
This is Poppy. She's a frequent puzzle bomber.
Loves a camera. Not shy of.
Yeah.
Kat, have you left for this side of the world yet, or are you still in the US right now?
I live in Frankfurt now.
Oh, okay. That's
I'm
right.
I'm the American living in Germany.
Right.
It's yeah.
Okay. The on one of the tracking things, it like popped up as US. I'm like, oh no, are you still up at like 4 at like 7 in the morning after getting through this? Okay.
No, I feel for
Okay.
those people when they do are like Mari when she's puzzling at 4 a.m. Oh, that's hard because the light's not good and you're exhausted, maybe a little delirious or a lot delirious. So
I've seen some stuff that people have looked into a little bit about if they tend to puzzle better in the morning or in the evening, and they try to work it out. Do you find a time of day that's a little preferential for your puzzling?
probably not in the evenings after work, but that's like when I have time, of course, because I'm a teacher, so I'm really exhausted from the end of the day. And I mean, everyone is from work. But I guess mornings like this 10 a.m. time is nice because you're ease into the day, have some coffee, have some breakfast, and then puzzle. Yeah. And the light is good. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I wonder how much of the lighting has to do with it. That's really fun. Tell us a little bit about how you approach this puzzle today. Like you were saying that it was cute and you were kind of excited about it. Like, have you seen it before or anything like that?
Have not seen it. I texted a friend and I said, what brand do you think it is today? And we didn't guess happily, but it was really cute when I opened it, very colorful. So I thought, okay, this is good for 1,000-piece solo puzzle. You can sort by colors. So I don't have a lot of space. My table's really small. So I put sorting trays down and dumped the pieces on the trays and then flipped on there. And then I sorted the edges out and the reds. So then after I sorted and flipped everything, I did the red background with the lemon, but I didn't do the lemon part. And then I did the cute little raspberries and the fries. The fries are really cute. And then I just kind of what you guys were saying, because I listen to the live stream when I'm puzzling. It kind of gives the average speed puzzler some
apologies.
No, it's good. It's good chat, good fun. And the donuts, you guys were saying, oh, a lot of people are doing the donut. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's a good idea because the texture is really different. And then I think I did the greens and everyone, I finished with the backgrounds, like the blues and the kind of light blues backgrounds.
Michelle's keen that we actually adopt as a puzzle terminology, puzzle bombing, for when cats or other creatures do come and get involved in interviews. So Poppy may be a groundbreaker and new terminology setter.
Cool. I will add it to the list of the dictionary that we're working on. Yeah.
Yeah. So Kat, obviously, Google Eyes.
Yeah, they're super fun. I think someone else that was being interviewed said they've seen videos of people putting them on products at the grocery store and stuff. So I've only seen it like that. I haven't personally done the googly eyes, but every time I see them, they're so fun. And I might adopt it at my school. I might bring a little joy into the stressful exam period or whatever. because I know someone like took little star stickers and they started sticking them everywhere, and people would find them and kind of collect them. But why not googly
Why
eyes?
not? Yes, and have you got a fun fact for us?
I was the one that shared about the box.
Yes, yeah. Yes. No, thanks for giving us some stuff to go on from the beginning. That was great. Yeah. And what about happily puzzles? Have you done many happily puzzles before?
There was another EJJ. I think we did a chairs one. It was like the fish sardine tins.
Yes, I did that one. I think that was
so that's the only happily I've done. But that was a great pairs puzzle because it's easily sortable by colors, and it was so long ago. I don't remember the time, but that's the only other one. But it's pretty good quality. There was an issue with like the pasta square, like the noodles on the fork, where my edges just like I could not figure them out. They were false fits, and so that was really frustrating. Eventually, I just kind of filled in the solid blue pieces near there, and it worked out. But that was frustrating.
Oh, okay. And what about other practice ahead of next week? Have you done any unboxed practice?
I've done a few unboxed. Actually, I did the Gibson Circle unboxed. That was the London one. That
Wait,
was
you double dipped the difficulty of not just the circle and the unboxed?
Not a good choice.
Who hurt you?
But I've been trying to do a puzzle every night, or at least one a day, to have the practice. I'm not a fast speed puzzler, but I'm trying.
I was just trying to think if there's any combinations where you could so you did an unboxed, if
gradient.
A gradient that was a repetitive pattern or something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like a repetitive rainbow.
Yeah,
across. Yeah, that'd be Gibson, one of those.
That might work.
Yeah, that'd be pretty tough.
And how have you been getting on with the unboxed?
I think the unboxed is going to be easier for me than the panorama after yesterday's ordeal.
You have got extra time for the panorama, I guess. Another 15 minutes of generous. Yeah.
It really depends on the image, though, because you just don't know like what the organizers have chosen or what they've done. I mean,
and have you set yourself any targets or aims ahead of next week? Have you got any plans in place for what you'd like to get out of the week?
Finish every round.
Okay, mine is to finish one round.
That's great.
If you hear a massive cheer go up at like 74.5 minutes at any point,
I'll know it's you.
It's me. Fingers crossed.
But it's going to be so fun just being at this new event, this new environment.
Yeah.
I think the hype is there. Like everyone's just very excited for the new format, and it could be like a changing moment for the future of competitions. Which
it feels, for in-person events, it feels really refreshing, doesn't it? Yeah, I think that's what people like. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I think it's cool that it's allowing people to kind of go under a test setting where all of the different skills that they want to show off or they feel like they can excel at, or also struggle against, those are all going to happen, so you can see the whole spectrum of puzzling in one shot rather than kind of a one-off and hope for the best, right? Like it's really, really cool. Are there I know you're nervous about the panoramic. Is there a round you're looking forward to?
No, I don't know.
Fair enough.
I actually haven't really thought about it so much about the rounds. I know some people are really analyzing each round and what their strengths are and weaknesses. I think I've just been worried about Gibsons, so I've just been trying to practice Gibsons a lot. And I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we get. I mean, in the UK, you get a lot more practice with Gibsons because they're very dominant in our charity shops. When you're just out getting puzzles, they're a fairly.
That's where I
widespread
got
puzzle.
my
Yeah.
panorama one, the Christmas panorama from a
Yeah.
charity shop in
Yeah.
Scotland.
And certainly, I think Gibsons have changed quite a bit over the last few years. When we last did a competition with the Gibsons, I found the piece cut really nice. It seemed to actually work very well for speed puzzling. They feel slightly thicker cardboard and a bit more precise fit than a Ravensburger, but it did come together really nicely. So yeah. I think it'd be good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a hoot. I'm quite excited.
And curious about the mystery brand, right? Like, we
Yeah.
don't know. No one really.
I'm sort of hoping
nobody knows.
Yeah, because is that going to be a ribbon cut or not? I think for unboxed, I think that could be quite challenging if it isn't. You would hope that's. I'm sort of hoping that's not an impossibility. I'm hoping that that's a reasonable sort of feature building puzzle, so you can at least get your teeth into it. I think that would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I knew, but even if I didn't, I wouldn't say anything.
No,
but
and you shouldn't. No.
I wish I could quell concerns. Unfortunately, it's all up in the air. But I think I'm excited to see everybody's reactions whenever those first couple of puzzles come out, because I think that's going to kind of lean into what happens the whole week. Right, Kat, you were saying a little bit ago that like it's also a little bit of a marathon because it's 3 puzzles back to back to back to back. Like there's a little gap in there, but that's also a lot of mental energy to put into stuff.
And I think on one of the other EJJs or a YouTube one I watched about someone saying like the fast puzzlers, they get a longer break, but the average puzzlers, we're just like, oh, a little break, and then we have to do it again. So the stamina and the endurance is going to be really tested too.
Yeah,
and
it's sort of like the reverse of bowling, where like the better you are at bowling, the less of bowling you actually get to do.
Yeah.
Right. Like.
Yeah, it's fantastic. No, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody there.
Yeah. Kat, I do have a quick question. You mentioned in the chat something about like Jello molds.
Yes.
And how many Jello molds?
My mom collected Jello molds, like from cheapo ones to like antique ones that my dad would bring back from England. So she had a collection of about, well, they're still in the garage, about 800 to 1,000 or more. And they would just fill the pantry with just these Jello molds. And we'd have like every fancy meal, we'd make a fancy Jello with like different tiers. And I remember when I was in 1st grade, my mom was in the newspaper for having the most Jello molds in the world.
Do you only use them for Jello, or do you mold other things inside of these shapes as well?
Sometimes, like the ones that could be baked, like cake would be made within them, but typically Jello. Yeah. And I know some people are super grossed out by Jello, but
wait, people are grossed out by Jello?
I don't know, like the texture or the look of it, or it's
okay.
Yeah. And then she'd go to potlucks, and if people were vegetarian, instead of using gelatin, you had to use a vegetarian gelatin. So she'd get a special one and make it special for that event, and crazy little worlds. So some of us
make it shaped like a parsnip or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a neep. We've had feedback on the carrot cake, Jim. The carrot cake was excellent and needed when puzzling in the middle of the night.
Oh, congrats, Karen.
We did correctly identify it as carrot cake. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. We had carrot cake watch going on.
It was
for a little
it was the frosting that gave it away.
Good choice. Good choice.
Good. Well, we've got less than 20 minutes to go on the competition now, so I think we'll be seeing you all in Munich in less than a week, Kat, and if we don't bump into you, good luck, and I'm sure we'll get to say hello at some point in person.
Safe travels to everyone, and see you.
Okay, thanks,
See you
Kat.
soon.
Bye.
Good luck.
Thanks for coming on the call. Now we've got, looking around the room, 1, 2, 3. You've got 7 puzzlers still in motion. 8 puzzlers still in motion.
Yeah, they're still going strong. We might be able to clear the room. It's gonna be tight. My fingers are crossed. Lots of people are doing really well. We can see in the left, Katarzyna is coming in on the last bits of border and has those blues left. Christina Bacci in the upper middle there has those blues and greens remaining. They're all set on their own little board. Jasmine has split the pile a little bit with the blues and the light blues for the egg side versus the pasta side. So if that's real accurate, she's going to be able to fly through the rest of that. Maya is in the lower left-hand corner, almost the same thing as Jasmine. I think we might have a little bit of a runoff between those two over who wants that next position. We'll see who wants the physicality in order to cruise through the rest of that. In the lower right, Marielle's doing a great job. You can see she's working out of her hand just a little bit in order to sink the rest of those green pieces. And on the right, Lindsay is coming in on the end. Again, we have this runoff between eggs and pasta. Ironically, pasta made of eggs. So this is a which came first kind of situation. And I guess that might be a fun fact right there, is that for the question which came first, the chicken or the egg, it is typically the egg born of something that was not a chicken. Just a little fun genealogy thing there. But I do want to bring somebody on to chat with us real quick. Bjorg, are you there?
Hi, Jim. Is it right?
Yes. Did I get your name right?
Björk Helene, but Bjorg is lovely.
Here, try it again, because I want to actually get it right.
Björk.
Björk.
Helene.
Björk Helen.
Björk Helen.
Okay, cool. I'll keep trying, Björk.
Excellent. It's been so lovely being with you guys today. It's my first live competition ever, so it's been a thrill.
Well, congratulations. How does it feel to get it done in the time?
Oh, it was my goal to finish within time, so I'm super happy at the moment, and I was so happy when I saw the colors of today's puzzle. And I also have a little one here. When he looked at the puzzle afterwards, after it was finished, he did this to eat it. Det är pappa din data, ja. So that was so much fun. Oh, but I was a bit stressed. Yeah, it was new, how do you say? Not producer, but new cut for me. And yeah.
Somebody a little hungry for eating the pieces.
Yes, absolutely. And the donut stood out. At the moment, I saw the piece, the pink with the the distinct texture.
Mm-hmm.
So I went for it.
So
they're making a celebration coffee right now, but it's not going so well.
Oh dear.
Oh.
So, but yeah, you sent us your fact, which we thought was fascinating because it relates to 500-piece puzzles.
It does.
Would you like to tell us your fact that you sent us?
Yes, I'm, as you know, from Norway, and in Norway I live in one of the smallest municipalities, which have fewer inhabitants than a 500-piece puzzle. So when next time you puzzle a 500-piece puzzle, you can think that that's more than the people that surrounds me every day. And I don't see people every day, because on my island I also added we are 26 people.
So that maybe we start using that as a unit of piece per minute. What's the name of the island? I just want to try to get it right.
It's called Hamnøya.
Hamanaya?
Hamn, Hamn, and then it's the Ö.
Hamur. I'm sorry, I know.
Harbor Island, and it's where people like from the Viking Age took harbor when it was bad weather, because it was a great place to harbor. Yes, so you know that now, and I hope that's
fascinating.
A fun fact.
So do you all know each other very, very well, or is it sort of like you don't really see each other because you all have to go to the mainland to do all the like work and shopping and everything?
Both of those things. Most of us goes to the mainland for work, but there are several people having, the typical farm life. So they stay quite often here, but we have like this common house where we meet every week if we have time. So it's quite idyllic. I lived in Oslo for a period of time, so this is quite the opposite.
How many jigsaw puzzles are on the island in total?
Oh, I think we have maybe 80% of that count. So yeah, I cannot say the total, but I can say it was my sister that got me into speed puzzling last fall. So it's pretty new, and I love the community. Just to give a shout out to everybody.
Because I was thinking that's a much more closed community for puzzles, for swaps and things. You'd be doing a lot of your puzzles over again.
Yeah, I do that, but my sister as well. We change, we switch it up sometimes, and recently we've participated in the Norwegian. Oh, you're a bit angry on your dad. That's not good, but yeah, I'm being right. Probably got lots of people to interview Jim, and I didn't catch your name.
I'm James. I'm James. So Jim and James.
Jim and James, it is so lovely to meet you and chat with you, and I look forward to next time. So now I think we're gonna do a puzzle together, me and him. Now. Okay. He's been missing his mommy.
Oh, Jim, you're on silent.
Thank you.
I can't blame him at all. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Hi, buddy. I hope you have a good puzzle with your mom.
Yeah, I'm trying to shut you down now.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, Bjorg.
Bjorg. Oh wow, that's really lovely, and it's really impressive how puzzling reaches both huge, widespread communities and also ones that could barely fill some classrooms. Only 26 people on the island and a speed puzzler there. Getting to hang out with us for a little bit and share time. That's really lovely.
Yeah. Yes, you'd want to be stocking up on puzzles when you got to the mainland, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, hopefully their next event they can get a few more, and with the way the EJJ can get out there, they can keep stocking up. I want to point out that we are coming up at the 10-minute warning here. We're at 3:19 and 55 seconds right now. So if you're wanting to hit under that 3 hour and 30-minute long, now is your shot. Really put on the gas at this point. We are cheering for you. I think Jasmine just closed out right around the 3:20 line, maybe a little earlier. I can see that Maya's doing an excellent job. Has maybe about 30 pieces remaining. Marielle's doing a great job. I think Lindsay Ince in the lower right-hand corner, you can see that Lindsay has put a lot of pieces on top of the puzzle itself, but she's put them in a place where that blue background doesn't blend in with the puzzle itself, so you can still see them fairly easily. And I know that's one of those puzzling faux pas that people think is really controversial. It's wildly efficient as long as you can still see the colors on it. The upper left, we can see Katarzyna closing this one out. I think she's down to just maybe about about 30 pieces worth of border and some fill in. You see she just got that big shot of physicality, knowing that the end is in sight. We have about 8 minutes and 35 seconds remaining. Maya Claw also coming in on the border. You can see that she's trying to do that same tactic of get a similar color of thing and try it out in those lines. Those blues are very similar and the lighting can really make it overlap, but she's doing great. And it's going to be a tight finish coming down to the wire. Katarzyna down to the last 3 pieces that were on the tray. I think there's a few more underneath of where she's working at that she's going to pull out, and that's going to be the border along the pasta line and along the cheese line. Yes, there's that other sorting tray that was underneath on the cardboard.
The pasta line and the cheese line. As
well, you have to keep them separate during cooking. Otherwise, you can get the case where the cheese breaks, and rather than melting into being a sauce, it becomes this goopy, chunky mess.
Yeah. Now, I think you've got the chance for about 1 minute on puzzling in space, Jim.
Yes. So a key important thing, somebody mentioned it in the chat. If you're puzzling in space, you have to limit the amount of dust that comes out, because any sort of particulate matter can really easily get into circuitry. It can get into oxygen systems and cause combustion. It can get into your lungs and cause a problem. So you have to limit dust as much as possible. The other thing is that you need to make sure that the pieces that you pick up will be readily discernible from multiple angles, as when you pick it up, you're likely to have a little bit of an angular momentum on it. So it will rotate as it's just sitting there unless you place it perfectly, meaning that you probably want to use either a random cut or a cut that has high definition in terms of each of the individual pieces. So that rules out a lot of the static, just 2x2 sort of puzzles that you see in some places. You probably want something that holds together well and can handle a little bit of oscillation. And I think that rules out several brands just based on that line. I almost wonder if you want to go with a plastic puzzle just based on the fact that it can be ultra light and really connective. But those might also be hard to snap together. And I'm not sure if we're talking about using the gloves or not. What do you think, James?
Yeah, well, I think they'd be able to use it without gloves. But yeah, I was thinking a plastic puzzle. I think that will give you the precision of fit. You'd probably want it all properly de-dusted before it gets packaged up for you. And probably a small puzzle was the other thing. So just probably one of those nice 100-piece puzzles you do not want to be doing.
Yeah, could you imagine losing one in space? Because then it's really gone. That one piece, it's just gone for a while. Karen P asking, puzzling in space, maybe using magnetic. Possibly. You'd probably want to use a smaller piece count for that as well. The problem being that because magnetic poles only have 2 sides, you either have to have a really complicated system of alternating magnets within the same piece in order to make sure that they can overlap and connect just right without repelling each other and kind of flying from opposite ends of the spaceship. I do like that idea. There's probably something to it. I know that you could maybe do Velcro. But if you get a false fit, it's a little tricky. So that's where you also need to make sure that the image is nice and clear. I may have gotten a little carried away with some of that analysis, but you also have to think of spring back. Every time you put a piece in, if it's a plastic one and it clicks, you are also going to send your body back a little bit because you're changing the momentum of those pieces together. So even that is going to have an effect for what's going on inside of the ship. So you might need to have your own your own gyroscope to try to maintain positioning as you're inside of the ship during all the rotation and placement.
I think that was a good start with the discussion about how we're going to get puzzling in space.
Yeah. Definitely would want to use a tray. I think some sort of puzzling tray would be good. Yeah, I wonder if you use a tray that has some sort of Velcro backing so you can stick things to that. and then rearrange them from there, but not necessarily have Velcro between the pieces. That might be the way to go. Some sort of adherent surface that way. Maya Claw finished while I was musing there. Congratulations, Maya. Sorry I didn't call that one in. We do have about 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, so everybody can put on the gas just a little bit. We can see Lindsay coming into the last 40 pieces or so. This is going to be really tight. We are rooting for everybody to clear the room. Kaija doing an excellent job on the floor. You can see that she has some of that interstitial area of the blues and greens remaining. Dora doing a great job. Her mascot cheering her on just like the rest of us are. I know if you're in the chat, you want to be rooting for these folks too. Lindsay doing a great job trying to get that border worked out little by little. And Marielle is trying to get a lot of that innards of the reds ironed out, so that way there's those big chunks that are squared away, and then can move on to the border. I think an important question, James, might be if you were puzzling in space, would you want to puzzle something that you see on Earth, or would you want to puzzle something never seen before?
Maybe you could puzzle something like the instruction manual for what would happen if there was some sort of puzzle-related disaster, and you've got to get the puzzle finished to
use the directions that way.
Michelle's got the look on her face of, oh, why did I put these two together?
What is happening?
For 3.5 hours.
Yeah. Well, the good news is that even if you tried to cry over the puzzle, you wouldn't necessarily get it wet because the tears just stick to your face rather than rolling off. So you could do something really dramatic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to talk to some folks at NASA and see what they think about this. I think the hardest part would be trying to make sure that the pieces aren't like rotating on their own, so that way you can see them to do some placement. Kaisha just finished at 3:25. And we are coming up on the last 2 minutes here. The last 2 minutes in this competition for this solo 1,000-piece puzzle. James, do you have any words of wisdom for our competitors as we have our last minute here?
Well, I wanted to try and use murky shapework once again, but I think this is the opposite of murky shapework, isn't it? It's in many ways bright shapework. But just keep going. We get as many of those pieces in as you can. We've got one or two people who look very like they might just about get there, but even if you don't, it's been a terrific effort. And to be puzzling on one puzzle for 3.5 hours is
without any
something.
breaks. And a lot of these folks don't have carrot cake either. They don't have carrot cake. They don't have there's no replenishing thing at this point.
I think carrot cake might become mandatory for a 1,000-piece solo.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Well done, everybody. That was 3.5 hours. So close, Christina. And well done also for Marila, Lindsay, Dora, and Kaya for doing a test of endurance. Please count up your leftover pieces and then add those the piece count to the timer website. There's on the blue screen there is a field where you can put the leftover pieces. If you have a lot of pieces, it's easier just to make them into groups of 10 and then count them up. But yes, thank you Jim and James for co-hosting today. It's always a pleasure to hear you bounce off each other. And I've thoroughly enjoyed this topic of fun and useless facts, and I think we've covered many topics today.
It's been a lot of fun. I feel we should almost do like a roundup of what have we learned today. Googly eyes are
I do have I do have an urge to purchase some googly eyes and yeah, see how I can get them to some puzzlers. Yeah.
Excellent.
Should absolutely do that. And just want to say thank you so much, James. I love getting to commentate with you. You are absolutely fabulous, and I want to grow up to be just like you.
You still got time. I'll see you all next week.
Yeah, be there or be a parallelogram.
Yeah, I'll be on the other side. On the other side. Yeah, you can come and thoroughly abuse my low-level puzzling skills.
Yes, you get to commentate on James, and we are hoping for a one. Let's go for two finishing within the time limit. That would be thrilling.
Yeah. Okay, I'll try. I'm only there for the beer. All right, lovely.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Yep. Yes. No, I will. I'll finish them all. Definitely.
There we go.
Will you be wearing your chicken hat while puzzling?
I sort of think I might actually.
Well, it's iconic now. You've set a precedent. Now we expect it everywhere.
Yeah. Well, at least people will be able to work out where that twit is.
Well, that's why people have mascots or colorful shirts with slogans on them. It helps the live stream team identify them and for the viewers to give a shout out when they see you and amongst all the tables. I mean, there's 340 puzzlers max, so that's 170 tables and 2 people at every table.
Yeah. Okay. I'm probably going to be wearing the chicken hat.
Yes.
All right. Good. Lovely to see you all.
Yeah.
Well done, everybody.
Thanks so much, James. Yeah, we're just waiting for a couple more people to enter their times. They're still counting. I want to hear a fun fact about chickens.
Oh.
Or your chickens specifically.
So we have a chicken that's called a white silkie, and it's the same fact that I did for the polar bears at the beginning. So this is a nice beginning and end. Is that they're a white chicken, but they have black skin. So their feathers are white, but they are black.
So it's like a zebra?
Well, it's a white fluffy chicken, but if you go down to the base of where their feathers are, their skin is a black color. And they also have polydactyly. And if you show them, they have to have they have more toes than the average chicken. And if you show them in chicken shows, which we don't do, but if you show them, you have to have the right number of toes for a silkie, which is different to the number of toes that a normal chicken would have.
There are so many things in that sentence to unpack. And I am amazed and impressed.
They have blue ears as well.
Well, that was my next question: is do chickens have ears? Because I can't see them.
So they're sort of like internal ears, but they're a white chicken with black skin, and then the 2 little disc areas that are usually blue.
Is this like the drop bear thing where people are just messing with me?
You put me on the spot to do chicken facts. What do you expect?
How many toes should a silkie have, and how many toes does a normal chicken have? And I thought they had claws. I thought they had 3 and plus 1.
They have claws, but then they have these little stubby more things further up. And silkies, I think, have to have 1 or 2 additional ones.
I've never heard the word silky for a chicken, so I'm just triply confused.
Google white silkie, you'll love them. I don't know if I've got. I don't know whether I can do a camera to the screen, but I can show you. Let's see. Here we go. So this is a photo of one of the girls. Let's see. Is that going to show? No, it's not going to show. Don't know. Hang on. If I take my off. No, that's worse.
Everybody will just have to Google what a silky chicken looks like.
There's no way of doing that without it being really bright, is there? No. That's a shame. That's a nice photo. And you can see their blue ear.
Okay. Well, we do have 2 comments in the chat about chickens. Well, firstly, about your hat. Gaza says, I think the hat is surgically attached. I've never seen him without it. And Gavin says, Mike the chicken remained alive for 18 months after being decapitated.
Yeah, that became a touring thing in like vaudeville, that the guy was beheading a chicken with an axe, and he only took off part of the head, and the chicken was headless but could still stay alive, and they fed it with a straw, and it made them quite a lot of money, but it died one day when they inadvertently fed it incorrectly, and it sort of drowned basically. But the headless chicken actually was a touring act.
That one I did.
We are so much better for this live stream. I mean, the amount of fun facts and interesting dinner conversation starters we have, I mean, it's unbelievable. So this should be like curriculum for people to who have problems with small talk. Listen to EJJ 139 and you'll never run out of interesting things to say. Or just for making other people feel awkward. All right, I think we have yes, we have Dora's piece count as well. So thank you very much to everybody who participated. Oh, I can see Lindsay is not going to have her lunch until she's done. She's on her way. Good on you, Lindsay. Yeah, this brings this live stream to a close. Thank you so much to everyone who participated, everybody who watched and added some fun comments in the chat, and of course to Jim and James for co-hosting. And we're gonna have. Yeah, I don't know when the next live stream is. I haven't checked my schedule, but if not next week, you'll be seeing Jim and Fuji on the World Series very soon. So, all right, thanks everybody, and goodbye.
Bye everybody.
Bye
Congrats.
all.